Slew. I apologize, guys. I was trying to set up my new computer with everything, but unfortunately, I just couldn't get it off in time. So I apologize for being late. Let me just close down a few programs so my computer's not running. My Mac, which is not running at snail's pace. So just give me a few minutes. How are you guys doing, man? Suits each and every one of you guys, man. God bless you, man. Hopefully everybody's healthy. As I try to shut down all these things that are open on my freaking MacBook, and it's taking like 30 minutes. Holy crap. What happened to my Mac? My Mac used to be good, man. By the way, get your drink on today. Again, just waiting for things to close down. Again, tonight we're going to be doing film review on the Hawks game. I think this Hawks game may have been one of the best adjustment games I've seen from Tibbs. Verily. Barely, is that the right word to use? Impressed by what I saw. And again, I apologize, guys. My computer's acting very stupid. I'm trying to close down 10 billion things so everything can run a little bit more smooth. Because, you know, when I put on the videos, it's going to run at a snail's pace. So, guys, please bear with me as I shut down 10 billion programs that I had up. Hopefully, everything does not move terribly slow tonight. But, yeah, so some of the things I want to talk about tonight will be, obviously, film review on the Hawks game. I want to talk about the interview that Randle had with Woj. I want to talk about, you know, most underrated Knicks signing, free agents. We can talk about it a little bit later because we talked about that already. I want to talk about Zion to New York. Everybody's talking about, not everybody, but now the media is trying to talk about, oh, Zion to New York and stuff. And it's like, y'all already know I'm not big on Zion coming to New York like that. I wasn't big on the Knicks draft him in the first place. Zion to me just has way too many ifs about him, uncertainties about him. As good as he is as a dynamic athlete right now, he definitely has some issues that I think are going to arise in the future. Let me just turn off every small little video and all little programs I don't need so this thing can actually run decently. So we're going to get to it, man. Just give me a few seconds, man. We're going to get to this film review in literally a few seconds. I got to erase so much crap off this freaking computer. I have all these files that I've used. I didn't erase them properly. So I apologize, guys. Please let me know if you can't hear me. And by the way, holy crap. Can the freaking Mets get Jacob deGrom a run? A freaking run. Bro, come on, man. My guy, Jeff McNeil, got on third and first and third. 1 out. Grounds in a double play. Michael Conforto can't hit for his life anymore. It's like he does not want a contract. Like, what the hell is wrong with these Mets, bro? Every time DeGrom pitches, this crap happens. Like, are y'all serious? Damn, son. What the hell is wrong with the effing Mets? Whenever DeGrom pitches, it's like almost like DeGrom sold his soul. And it's like, yo, I'll let you have these ridiculously good games, but you get like the worst run support in all of baseball. Nothing. Every time he's up at bat, pitching, nothing. You have a guy on first and third. Double play. Like, yo, are you serious, dogs? Damn, son. Whew. Damn, so I feel DeGrom's pain, son. Holy crap. So let me get to this Hawks game. So there are a few things I saw and I want to talk about. I think the name of the game, especially adjustment. First of all, let me say salute to people in the chat. And I apologize for not giving you guys the attention, man. Salute to Adele Chapman. Salute my guy. Pre-game like. Thank you very much, Karen Fung. Salute. Yes, I heard about him wearing the goggles. Someone put a Twitter up and put him at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Simon Singh, my guy. Eric G. Salute, man. Jerry Fitz. Salute. And let me just get through the film review. I'm gonna let people in, man. Vax Prime Sports, Julian Trans. Salute to you guys, man. SB Talk Sports. That's my brother right there, man. Salute. Don't tell him about the Mets. Yo, bro. Yo, Don, are you serious? Dogs, like anybody could pitch against the Mets when we have DeGrom up pitching. Anybody. You could put anybody you want to pitch against DeGrom. They're gonna have a chance. Golly, it's like the Mets don't have they forgot how to hit with Jacob deGrom up there. Like, it's the most ridiculous crap, bro. Like, are you serious? Damn, son. I gotta go back to work after this. So I'm drinking some freaking alcohol with some coffee or a freaking espresso, whatever this thing is. SB Toy says salute to F the Yankees, man. Aren't y'all still in last place? So yeah, let me get to the stream review real quick, man. Oh, yes. Hey, JD Davis got hit at bat. Now we have a guy on base. Why should be a double player? Freaking terrible. So one thing I want to point out is that the Knicks, I want to ask you guys, do you guys think that not having Trey Young in that game when he came out, I believe it was the third quarter, that helped the Knicks? I think that did, because the pick and roll for the Hawks was the name of the game against us. And it wasn't as if they were shooting that great from outside. I believe they shot 30-something%, 35, 34% from outside the whole game. Even Trey Young, I think Trey Young missed all his threes, if I remember. Let me see. Trey Young, yeah, he missed. No, he's 1 for 4 from three. Those threes he's trying to jack up like he's freaking Steph Curry. And they shot 35.3% from three. So, but again, if you saw the dribble drive penetration, we suffered big time from it. Let me open this up real quick. Suffered big time from it. And I got a combination video to show you guys, so you guys can all see it. You know what I mean? I could speak through it as we're going through it. But we struggled mightily against the pick and roll against the Hawks. And part of that is, again, they have the talent that they've been killing us with the pick and roll for the most part this whole year. But also, Nate McMillan, the rotation's a lot better. Spacing, where guys supposed to be a lot better with Nate McMillan. Just way better coach than Lloyd Pierce. Let me share this real quick, you guys. Salute to Hinton Murphy. Salute my guy, man. Salute. Black University. Let me let Hinton up in here, man. Give me 2 seconds, Hinton. And yes, guys, I'm working on OBS. I'm having somebody from Fiverr work on it, so please be patient. Let me get this invite for Hinton. Yo, Jeff McNeil, you better not F this up, bro. You've been playing like Trid Ash, bro. Holy crap. Damn, son. It's my guy too, man. Like, damn, can you get a hit from my dude, Jacob DeGrom? Can you get a home run, something? How you getting into double plays? Like, come on, son. So, Coach Colorblocks. Let me get Coach Colorblocks up in here as well, too. And don't worry, I'm gonna get some more people as we're talking about some of the more juicier things. But I just want to get through this film review. Oh, Jay, thank you. Jeff McNeil didn't swing at a freaking slider away. Oh my gosh, man. It's freaking upsetting. All right, let me get this film review. So let me share this so you guys can all see this. So let me just show a few examples. We were getting mollywopped. And one of the things that hurt us, and I'm gonna talk about the adjustment we made, was that we played way too back. Like the roll man, the big man who's guarding the roll man played way too far back against guys like Trey Young. And Trey Young, I don't know what NBA don't call it. He pushes off a lot off the pick and rolls, or whenever he traps his defender off the hip after catching that pick. And they don't call it, but he was catching us with that all night. As you can see here, catches pain. And you see Noel back up, Reynolds to help out. Kicks it out to Solomon Hill, give out to Bogdanovich. And some of these clips are all over the place. And this one was like really good movement. So he just caught us off base. Like we weren't aggressive. And I'm going to get to this a little bit later on. We weren't aggressive in attacking that pick and roll. We played way too back and allowed way too much space. Look at that. Way too much space by Randle. Noel didn't commit back. Close enough. Payne's caught in the wind. You got Solomon Hill wide open. And Solomon Hill's nothing. But again, now you have to go to reset. You have to get on the guy who has the ball, and that chaos. Now you're playing basically a 4.5 on 5, and everybody has to overcommit on every single pass, every little jump fake or pump fake, and you're caught out in the open. Another one here, and I'm not sure how so I have these all combined. So here, Trey Young draws a foul on Derrick Rose. Look at where Taj Gibson is. Taj Gibson was a culprit of this all night. I'm gonna show how we adjusted to this. Look where Taj Gibson is now. What benefit? There's no real benefit for him being out here, because even if he's playing Capella here and playing that hedge closer up, Capella has to find a way to get around Taj in his tight spacing. I believe that's quickly. So has to get around that tight spacing, right? And try to go for the alley. We still got Randle helping out, or expected to help out, right? So there's no point in Taj Gibson playing all the way back here, or playing so well off of Trey Young and giving that space, that time to allow Derrick Rose to recover. And Trey Young, his free throw draw rate in the NBA, I believe, is let me look it up real quick. Trey Young, basketball reference. It was like last time he played us, I think it was like in the 50%? Around like 50-some%? All I'm sorry. I'm just freaking Jeff McNeil. These Mets are getting me pissed. So if you see me screaming something like that, so right now he's at 49.5%, which is just stupid. They give him those calls all the time, which is absurd. It's absolutely effing absurd. They give him those calls all the time. And hold on, let me get I want to get the Woj interview. I had the Woj interview. Oh, that's what it was. All right, hold up.
The Woj Pod is brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear.
Trying to pause it. All right, so we'll have that ready, queued up. Chris Chang, salute, man. Stephen Fox, salute. To tell you guys, whoa! Jeff McNeil got to walk. Oh, it's freaking Mets, man. All right, back to this. So again, Cassius and Trey Young, Taj Gibson. I mean, basically, you have to close out on that, and we're gonna watch a little bit later in a few. So I just want to show a little bit more, a few more examples how to pick and roll abuse us. Yep, look where Taj is, way too back. Trey Young has carte blanche to do whatever he wants in this area right here. Eat food all day. That's a Kungu who's rolling with him. Taj plays way too back. Easy shot for your boy Trey Young. Money is good. Taj was stuck in no man's land. We're trying to hold. Taj trying to hold for pain, but it just wasn't working. Now he gets around to pick. I believe that's Capella. Capella runs. And then Taj, oh, no, that's a floater. Yep. Again, Trey Young, way too much space for Trey Young to operate. Taj played way too back. And even look at this. Taj was just stuck in no man's land. If Taj commits now, I believe that's Lou Williams in the corner. If Taj commits here and just hedges here, he can still guard against here, roll back, and allow Derrick Rose to recover. Trey Young is shifty, and he's smart enough where he'll try to maneuver. But it's just, again, it's so much more of a harder shot. Whoa! Jacob deGrom with a base hit. Jacob deGrom is the greatest pitcher in the past 3-4 years, man. Come on. He has to pitch? He has to hit the ball for himself? Yo, come on. Yeah, you know what? Yo. Whoa. I'm disrespecting Jacob deGrom. Hold on. I apologize, guys. I'm right here. Jacob, I apologize, man. I apologize big time, man. F this. I love my Knicks, but tonight is not the night to be wearing anything Knicks right now. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Jacob deGrom. My bad, yo. My bad, man. My bad, Jacob. I didn't mean to disrespect you like that, bro. I apologize, Jake. Come on, son. That's my son right there, man. F all this, man. What you talking about? My bad, Jacob deGrom. My bad. I didn't mean to disrespect you, Jacob deGrom. My bad. I apologize. Sorry about that. Let me get back to this. Black University salute. Drip Morbacoot salute. Chris Chang, my brother, salute. Salute to everybody, man. And let me just continue to show this. So Trey Young throws with the floater is good. You're gonna watch a few more, man. So someone said the Soap King. Yo, he's getting into festivities, man. He's getting into festivities. Yeah. Hinton, my guy, man. Salute.
Good,
how you doing, man?
What's good, G-Man? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Just going through this film review, man. Just real quick. Again, I thought the name of the game in terms of adjustments. I'm gonna show the good stuff, but I'm just showing how we got killed in the pick and roll last game. I brought up the point earlier that I think, look, Trey Young being out the game definitely helped us, but I thought Tom Thibodeau did a bang job on closing out on the picks. But I'm just showing some of the bad right now regarding how we got exposed by the pick and roll and how us playing way back. Now look at. Let me see which one this was. Yep, Noel bounces off of Peyton, gets stuck, throws it up to Capella, and by the time look at this. The only hit this inning was Jacob. Yo, Mets, you gotta be effing kidding. I'm sorry, my bad. I apologize, guys. I apologize. This just bugged me out how we give Jacob deGrom no help whatsoever, man. So again, we got burned a pick and roll here. Trey Young catches Payton off the hip. Payton can't attack. Noel is way too late for Noel to now commit. Now Noel's kind of stuck. Pause with his back turn to Trey Young. Trey Young is like, all right, throws it up to Capella, tries to block that. Nothing doing. So we got burned all night, especially in the first 3 quarters, I want to say, for the most part. And that was one with Lou Williams. Now, the benefit to Lou Williams is that Lou Williams loves to take a little mid-range shot, and that definitely helped us. I know he hit a few. He only had 11 points the whole game. But this whole game, man, Trey Young was molly-whopping us with the pick and roll. And then the pick and pop. You have your boy Capella go down low. Randle helped out way too much. That's his boy. And Randle's been caught out a few times doing that against fours and sometimes even 5s you could shoot from outside when he has that assignment. And so you see him, bang, bang, John Collins shoots the 3 on Randle. That's good. Sorry if it cuts out. It shouldn't be cutting out that badly. Hey, whoa! Brandon Nimmo hits a freaking base hit to give DeGrom something. Wow. Maybe, hey, things are changing in New York. Holy crap. God bless Jacob DeGrom and God bless Nimmo. Oh, I probably posted the same freaking clip twice. Apologize for that. Let me keep going. Do I have any more? Another Trey Young gets a double team up top. Porter splits it out. And this one right here, Randle's a culprit. Randle played way too. Oh, no, is that Randle? Yeah, it was Randle. Didn't help out. Noel Pell had to now help out on Horter. Derrick Old Man Rose did not reset quick enough. He's stuck in no man's land. Pell probably is like, who the hell do I have? Let me get Horter since he's a 3-point shooter. Gets stuck out in no man's land. Randle's still going. I believe that's Solomon Hill. Come on, it's Solomon Hill. No offense to Solomon Hill. And then Capella splits. Rose to the basket. Easy. Dunk, eat your food. It's all good. And I think I have the same play. Did I have the same play twice? Nope. And your boy Bogdan, and they're using Bogdanovich a lot in the pick and roll, but I'm gonna show how we adjust it. Bogdanovich kicks it out. I believe that's John Collins for another 3. Again, on this play right here, yep, Bullock, and then Randle helping out way too much. Another base hit. Wow, this must be freaking Christmas for Jacob DeGrom. Bogdan catches Bullock on a hit. By the way, Bogdan plays a really good pick and roll game. He's not Trey Young. He's not up there like that, but Randle again, and it sucks because Randle does so much on offense. Gets stuck out here, and it's like, damn, you wanna scold him a little bit, pause, but helping out way too much on Capella, who I think Capella's a good pick and roll man. He can eat like down low in terms of cleaning up, but his moves aren't that sophisticated where you have to literally double team and try to guard on that. We were doing that the first 3 quarters, overcommitting way too much to that paint defense. John Collins kills us, and that's the name of the game. So I'm gonna show you how the Knicks adjusted, and I think that this is one of the best adjustments I've seen all season by the Knicks. And this is one thing I like about Tom Thibodeau in a way. I'm not saying he is. I think he's a lot smarter, a lot more reserved, a lot more understands the game a little bit better. But on defense, he's almost like Rex Ryan. If anybody remembers Rex Ryan from the Jets, how Rex Ryan, especially 2009, the first year he got here, those all-out exotic blitzes where it's like, yo, look, I got Darrell Reeves back there. I got Kerry Rhodes that first year, I believe. They didn't have Cromartie yet. I forgot who the other cornerback was, but it was like, look, we're gonna throw the kitchen sink at you. Now you gotta execute out and make the throw. So I'm gonna just show you. If you look at it, by the way, I think this is mostly all in the 4th quarter. By the way, I want to show. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Del Chapman. Thank you for the $5 super chats. What do you think about Edwin Diaz and can he bounce back? And close, I'll talk about it later. And did we use it the right this year? We got Molly Bob yesterday, but we'll talk about it later, man. Cully salute, man. Don't thank me either. It's none to support super chat. Yo, thank you, Cully. I don't give a damn. I thank all supporters, man. God bless you guys for the super chat. God bless you guys for the likes, man. Just hit the like, subscribe. That's all I ask for, man. But thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Much love, man. God bless you, bro. So let me see. I'm not sharing it yet. And I just want to let this play through. So you can speak to it, Hinton, if you have any comments. But just peep how aggressive we were on closing out the defenders.
I didn't really watch the game, so for me, I'm just learning right now from what happened that game. I missed this game. So.
Oh yeah, you're in the studio soon. My bad, man. Let me see. Which one is this? Yep, the pass round, kicks it out, drives the basket. Oh, this is the Obi. This is the Obi play, but that was one where I thought that was Obi's best play. And again, Obi helping out, shading or not shading, but stunt. I think he stunned it here. Hold on, let me see this. Drives Obi. I believe that's Solomon Hill. I can't see him now. Obi help defense. Nick G. Your boy Obi's helping out on John Collins. Obi is now stuck on John Collins. Knicks reset. Attacks has Goodwin for the layup. No bueno. Beautiful play by the Knicks. Here's another one. Yeah, your boy is Bogdan. He drives on Bullock. Now he's stuck on Bullock. No doing. Caught out there. And I think Godwin had to throw up some absolute trash. But I think it all started here after. This is one. Yep. If you watch here how we close out on the pick and roll, on the picks period, see your boy Noel calls out here aggressively and said, yo, I dare you to try to jump and make that pass to Capella. You stop Bogdan in his tracks. Bogdan has to turn around, and now Noel can reset back on his man. And you have a good defender in Bullock, a good perimeter defender in Bullock who could guard Bogdan one-on-one. And look at the shot clock. I apologize, guys. I'm blocking the shot clock. 7 seconds left. And I thought this was so genius by Tom Thibodeau. It was almost brazy. It was really brazy by Tom Thibodeau how, he just went out like he's like, yo, look, I'm going to overcommit. And by the way, I'm going to show you a stat that proves what I'm saying. I'm going to send you the link, Nick G. Holy crap. You got Bogdan get stuck out there. Bang, bang. Nothing. Goodwin. Trash shot. Knicks rebound. Here, Bogdan, I think that's John Collins trying to set the pick. Nothing doing. And you see your boy Noel attack. And here, Julius Randle. This is why I think that the Knicks have definitely improved in terms of reading passing lanes and reading, like anticipating plays, right? And for some reason, we get better as the game keeps, like it gets further in. So someone made this point the other night that we worked really hard on the respiratory and the conditioning, all that stuff. Give him credit for that. I forgot who said it, but that was an excellent point. That Randle sees that perfectly, and the person, the king of the play, or not the king, but the hero of this play right here is known as well. And also Randle had to sit there and say, hey, let me commit on here. Again, to make that pass back to John Collins with your boy Bullock running over is probably the toughest pass, or in that within this whole little context. He's not going to do it. He gets stuck, tries to slip it off to Capella. Randle reads it perfectly. Bang, bang. Another play. You had your boy Kevin Huerter, the split out. But look at your boy IQ. This is what I'm saying. Chuck, I don't know where you are, bro. Give my boy IQ some love, bro. He's not the greatest of defenders. He's not the strongest, whatever. Look how he's reading the pass. Look where his head is at right now, man. Look where his head is at right now. Watch the bang, bang play on my guy IQ. Look at this. Give me that. Tries to save it. No bueno. Your boy Derrick Rose saves it. This is all, hey, this is coaching right here. And this is taking two coaching. DJ don't do this. Look at that. Reading the play the whole way. And he's still in a position, even when he was waiting, even before Kevin Huerter made the pass, he's still in an excellent position to guard against, I believe that's, who was zero? That's Goodwin, who did make, I think, 2 threes in that game when he first came in. Or at least late in the game after Trey Young got hurt. Excuse me.
You got to give D Rose some credit for the hustle, though. Like, yeah, IQ made the play, but watch D Rose. Like, he went all the way from the top of the 3-point line. Like, ran. Like, he saw it, and then boom. Like, let me get that.
Reading that play, the whole excellent play. Excellent reading by the Knicks. Oh, my gosh. This was sexy. Look at that. Knows it well. Helps out Kevin Huerter. IQ, by the way. Oh, IQ. Look at my dude playing high school defense. Hands in the air. And look what he does right here. When he leads the ball handlers, leads them straight into the paint defense. Let's watch here. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Look at this. Sexy. Look at that. Look at that. Now you got to see my friend. Now you got to see. I think that's Coogee Rap. Yeah, it's Coogee Rap, a.k.a. Noel Pell. Got to see that. No, that's Randle. My bad. That's Randle. My bad. They both got the freaking the hair. That's crazy. So I apologize. That's Randle, who's actually playing pretty well right now. Solomon Hill. You let Solomon Hill shoot that. Help out Kevin Huerter. Bullock almost got it. Solomon Hill for the corner 3. Come on. It's Solomon Hill. What are you talking about? And another one. Sorry for the pause. This is Goodwin with the ball top against IQ. I believe. Let me see. This is IQ just skating around. Just excellent defense. My bad. I had to think in a way. IQ leads him, keeps his hands in the air, and again leads him into an unfavorable trap or unfavorable, paint defense, not a trap. So I just thought today, give IQ some credit on the defensive end. People say, "Oh, if he's on the court, bro, the kid is learning for a rookie, man. Give him some love." And in this play. Gets it out Solomon Hill. He drives. Good defense by the Knicks in the paint. Everybody collapses down the paint. Look how much time is left on the clock. This is what you want from the Knicks. You want these guys to sit there. It's like, yo, damn, what the hell are we going to do? Now, look at how Noel helps out. And they're daring Huerter. And they dared Bogdan to act like, you think you Trey Young? All right, we're going to stop. We're going to make every pick and roll uncomfortable for you guys. This was excellent defense by the Knicks, man. In that fourth quarter, the way we adjusted, man, one of the best displays I've seen in a while, man. So salute to the Knicks. And by the way, let me say a stat that proves, because I don't want to say it, act like I'm just saying all this conjecture and there's nothing to back it up. So according to that synergy, the Atlanta Hawks, the pick and roll ball handlers, where the defense had committed on the ball handler, they had 2 in the first quarter, 6 in the second quarter, 6 in the third quarter, 9 in the fourth quarter, where the defense committed on the ball handler. As in attacked them, as it made sure they weren't open, none of that crap. And another play was that the pick and roll ball handler where there were traps, both teams had 0 in all 3 quarters. And then we started to be, it's not that much. We had 2 in the fourth quarter, they still had none. So Tom Thibodeau was like, look, we're going to sell out on the pick and roll. We're not going to let these guys kill us. And another thing is that we forced a lot more spot ups. Atlanta had 2 in the first quarter, 5 in the second, 4 in the third, and 9 in the fourth. Now, again, when we talk about spot ups, a lot of spot ups were with not a lot of time on the shot clock. A lot of them contested. A lot of them just bad shots because of the defense. Look at all the examples I showed. That was basically the name of the game in the fourth quarter. Make these guys take bad shots, or make sure as much time is not left on as a little amount of time is left on the clock to stop these guys from having good looks. So, got to give for Tom Thibodeau, man. That was one of the best defensive displays I've seen all season. Tom Thibodeau as a defensive coach, man. He had some of that Rex Ryan sexiness, pause, to his game, man. But then I was gonna ask you, you didn't have it. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat for the people who want to do film review, because people can send the links. I'm gonna send the link, man. Guys, chill out, man. Damn, son. You know what I'm saying, drink some yak, man. Like, chill the F out, bro. Get some sauce from my dude Hinton, man. By the I'm not gonna be I got a mile to do. Yes, go support my guy Hinton. Coach Color Blocks. By the way, Coach Color, I sent you the link, so I don't know why you're not in there. But let me see what he says. Oh, he said he'd be here in 20. All right, cool. Oh, Eric G says he has a rebuttal for what I'm trying to say. Eric G, I'm like what Cameron said, man. I'm a genius. Papadopoulos, never lean it on your zenith. I really mean it. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm not even drunk, but I'm just happy that the Mets got Jacob deGrom 3 runs against the Nationals. This makes my day, man. I had a few more things. I had RJ's bad defense, but I only had a few plays. I don't want to kill him too much. I should kill him because people are going to say, oh, we should. I did want to show one play how, and the Hawks, they ran the horns on us. And this is one play I would love Tom Thibodeau to do, especially with guys like Bullock, with RJ. Even forget RJ quickly, right? Just real quick, let me just show this, and I'm going to let some people in. Let me just share this real quick. I see you guys in the background. Let me just share this before I let you guys in. This play is basically you had the horns, almost formed the horns, where the guys curled out to set picks for the wing players deep in the corner. And we don't run this. They don't run this at all, bro. Like the Hawks and the Hawks executing us. I believe it's Horter who made the shot. So right here you see horns now. Lewin's got to get deeper here, right? But it's kind of bootleg. Horter is ready here. You got the 2 horns, and they're both setting picks for the guys. See, I think it's Solomon Hill trying to set on Derrick Rose, but it's lazy. But the play's mostly for Horter. Horter gets it up top. This is a play you could easy run for Bullock. Gets the pick, drives, gives a little mid-range. You can run that for Bullock. You can run that for RJ. Just one thing I want to show is just like, yo, they run horns, and the same horns were played. We ran it last game. We run the same corny horns play that if Randle's not in there, is nowhere near as effective as if you have Obi in there. So there's so many things that Knicks can do, but it's like when you get in a crunch time like this, man, I'm not sure Tom Thibodeau is going to be as experimental with his team, because it's just like, dogs, we're just going to run what works. I also had a video or a clip where I want to show us how we had trouble with the zone and then how we attacked the zone. It's not that long because I know people are like, oh my gosh, this is way too educational. I just want to sit here and just talk about Zion and all these other guys. And of course, when I let Hinton in, now my computer wants to freeze. So I'm gonna let people in. Screw it. This is crazy, man. And I got a new computer, so I have to set up so much crap. So just bear with me. And it's so beautiful too, man. If this thing breaks down, man, I'm a just freaking go crazy. So let me see. I want to show. We still have trouble with the zone. Yeah, let me show a few of these. Randle. Yep, Randle messes this up. Knicks. Yeah. So I just want to show one thing with the zone. We struggled with. They ran 3-2-2-3 in the beginning of the game. And it's right. They stopped going from it, even when they had a lead late. They stopped going to the zone, which is interesting.
Remember in the game before, the Hornets, they played that 1-3-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they played everything against. They played 1-3-1, 3-2-2-3. They threw, and that was the same thing they did the first game. The first game against us, they mollywopped us. But in the second game, we had Obi flash to the foul line. We had RJ flash to the foul line. Yeah. Just real quick here, just want to show some of the ways we struggle. So right here, you see a 3-2. You got Lou Williams, Horter, and Trey Young. You can tell it's a 3-2 because once RJ splits, you got Trey Young say, all right, keep the integrity of it. He pops down a little bit just to help out, but still 3-2. And we said no one. I think it's when we said no one here. And then Randle, I believe it's when Randle gets into a stupid post for some reason. Is this it? No, Randle's getting a stupid post. But there Rose about 4 seconds left on the clock. Now, if I wish Coach Colorbox was here, because what I learned back in the day was that you run a 2-1-2, but I don't see no one. I've never seen Knicks run a 2-1-2 against a 3-2 zone, whether it was this game, whether it was the Hornets game. And again, no one's really in the middle. You have RJ really in the middle, but then he splits out Taj. And that's the thing about Ren is like he gets into this groove where he wants to get in the baseline, get into these posted positions. Nothing to do it. Rose throws it up. It was a shot clock violation. Remember this one when the Knicks actually gave us the what's saying gave us the points, but it actually didn't count. So I got a lot of people. Look at Eric G just freaking looking at the camera like a psycho. Holy crap! This dude Eric G's watching some explicit videos. Acting like he's watching my show right now. Just all up in the foul. I'm just joking. EDG, I'm just joking, man. Salute.
I was watching the clip. I was trying to look at the clip, and I was just looking at different things.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Let me let Nick G in here because Nick G, his time is precious. He can't stay here with the plebs and the proletariat. He's just way above us. Hey, Nick G, how you doing, sir?
Don't do that. Nick G, bro, congratulations on the baby, my brother. Much blessings to you and your family.
I think he's frozen. Nick G, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool, man. Your camera's like messed up. I don't see anything.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I know.
Stephen Fox, how you doing, sir?
Salute Don Guillermo. Salute Eric. Congratulations, Nick. Hi, Hinton. Hope all is well. And as always, the family in the chat. Hope everyone's well.
Yes, everyone is doing okay, man. Hope everything is okay with everybody. Congrats to Nick.
Congrats to Nick.
The baby boy, I believe. Yes, it is. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
As we say in the hood.
I just had a bunch of phlegm split out. Excuse me. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
What else? I don't know. Shawarma, I guess. I don't know. That's not even Arab. That's like meat. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Let me let Nick back in. He's not even freaking in. Hold on. Let me move this one. Nick, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I hear you. I was experimenting with my phone.
Yeah, that's not cute, Nick. Just use your regular camera. We don't need you pulling off all this garbage, man. I'm only joking, man. Congrats again, Nick. Happy.
Congrats.
Appreciate
it for you.
Aren't you tired as hell, bro?
I actually got some sleep today, so I'm figuring out how to sleep in between his sleep, and yeah, it's interesting.
You just gotta sleep at the same time.
Once you that's what I mean.
Once you get that done, you'll be all right. I know.
As soon as he wakes up, it's just like feed him, go to sleep. Get what you gotta get done, go.
You got 2 hours.
2 hours, that's it.
Yep.
He's giving me 3 now, so it's kind of crazy.
That's solid.
Were you a rambunctious little kid?
Me?
Came out there?
My mom told me I was, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. You don't want to have gourmet formula and all that. You're just so.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the finest breast milk, man.
But I don't want to bore you guys to death, man. I know Eric G said he had contention.
Ghetto is saying, "Let me in."
Ghetto. Oh, sorry, Ghetto. You're in the building. Is he high or drunk? Ghetto, how you doing, sir?
We'll find out.
Damn, bro. What I need to pay my dues or something? I was sitting back there in the green room eating all the chicken.
Look, you know how he comes in here?
You got chicken right there?
Yeah, he thinks he's all chicken.
Chicken.
This
guy see the chicken? Yeah, well, maybe Foxy ate it. Maybe Foxy ate it before you got there. Foxy, what's up, big bro? I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it or not.
Hey, I'm well. Hope all is well with you.
Good. I sent you an email just to tell you I miss you, big bro.
Hey, thank you. Back at you.
Hey, man. Where you been at, Fox? I hadn't seen you in a long time.
No, I've been around. I just got a lot of things going on, but life is good. God is good.
Yeah. Hey, how was your 420, Foxy? I was hoping to see you for 420.
Every day is 420 for me, man.
Yeah, baby.
What is this? What is this palaver?
Listen,
brother, we can't reminisce with our homeboy Foxy. We leaving you out? Do you feel left out?
No, go ahead, sir. Take over the show. Go ahead, man. What are you?
I'm minding my business.
420 was 3 days ago. This guy comes in. You see how GI
Listen, we live in New Jersey. We live in New Jersey. This was the greatest 420 ever.
Really?
Why? Why was this?
What made it so special?
Because it's legal. This is our first legal 420. Nobody went to jail. Nobody in New Jersey went to jail this 420. Nobody.
You know what? I guess that's a good thing, man. So
that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Salute to legalization, man. Let me say real quick. Thank you, Greg Castillo, for the $5 super chat, man. Says congrats, Nick G. Yeah, everybody, please give a congrats to Nick G. Make
That's
sure
what I want to get to next. Nick G, congrats, my guy. I appreciate you so much.
Hey, man, I think everybody got to shout out my wife. That's the real thing, man. That's the real
she's
champ
real
right
MVP.
I'm nobody.
Healthy mother and baby. Hey, Nick G, when I first met you, I didn't think I was going to like you because you was a little mean to Kevin. But then I realized you're not human if you're not mean to Kevin. So.
All right. Well, back to the show. This guy, yo.
All right, let's go.
Anyways, happy that a GI approves of Nick G, that he fits his criteria of what is cool. This guy.
Wait, hold on. How am I mean to Kevin? Like,
how am I?
No one's mean to Kevin.
I'm so nice to Kevin.
It was my first time on the panel with Foxy. Foxy's running the panel. They let you in. And you just come in swinging. Mitchell Robinson, he got kicked off the USA team. I was like, damn, who pissed in this dude's Cheerios? But then I realized you had history. So.
All right. Well, Kaiser Sosa, thank you for the $5. So let's go get them likes, subs, and social media. Yeah, please hit like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But guys, let me ask you guys this. I showed all the so-called boring film, but E to G, you had some contention against what I said. If you guys have any notes or any things you want to point out regarding the games that we just played against the Hawks, please speak now or forever hold your peace as we're about to move on to the interview, the so-called great interview with Wojers. Whatever. Right. Me and Nick talking about this. Nick thinks it's freaking manna from heaven. But go ahead,
I listened to that interview. It's not. He doesn't say much of anything, but when you're showing the clips, and I agree that the Knicks played a little wrong on the play, but in every clip you showed, the predominant defender is doing one thing. He's playing behind Trey Young, or playing behind Bogdanovich, or playing behind Godwin. So what the big does in the paint steps up to only do one thing, and that's give time for Rose or for whoever's guarding that on ball. Whoever's the on ball defender. He's just trying to give him some time to get back in front of him, and then be able to get back into the paint and cover the lob or get the rebound. It's not that they're trying to play the shooter. He's just trying to, okay, I'm going to stay in front of him, give him time, see if my guy can get back in front of him. If not, I have an option to defend the shot or get in the paint and defend the lob or the pass or whatever.
But here's the thing.
It wasn't executed well. But that's what I don't blame Taj for playing closer or.
No, he did. That's the whole thing, though. He got.
I mean, for sagging. I don't blame him for sagging because he couldn't go all the way.
Well, but that's the thing. Then they flipped it in the fourth quarter where they committed. They attacked the ball handler. Granted, Trey Young was on the game, so we don't know. But here's the thing, though. I remember you guys remember maybe it was 2 years ago. They had that with Trey Young. I think it was a preseason game, and the Knicks ended up winning like the final few seconds of the game. And it was they put in Frank Ntilikina in late, and they basically sent Frank Ntilikina and they doubled Trey Young up top because Trey Young was burning us with the pick and roll. We had no answer whatsoever, and they were just like, "Yo, just send him, just disrupt the pick and roll. Let him make that little jump pass, whatever. Let him try to execute a pass from out there. Waste so much time in the clock, and it worked. I think it was a preseason game, and that's what we did here." Attack the pick and roll and make Bogdan make these other guys make plays.
And before before I move on and you guys get everybody gets to eat, I just want to say that third quarter, that second half. I know we're talking about Trey Young eating, but that second half, until he got injured, he was absolutely garbage in the third quarter. He missed every shot. The Knicks defended him well, so I don't know that going forward. You said if they had him. Maybe they wouldn't. I don't know that because it allowed Bogdanovich to get some shots that he probably wouldn't have gotten. It allowed Goodwin to get some shots that he probably wouldn't have gotten, and it allowed Lou Will to get some time that he wouldn't have came in earlier than he did.
Remember in the fourth quarter, remember in the second half when Trey Young was still in the game, he started taking those Steph Curry threes. He took like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, and then he also was doing the mid-range floater, and he missed 3 of those in the third quarter.
Right, but
that's exactly how he got hurt.
But he still had space to shoot those shots. That's the thing about, and when you talk about the ties thing,
wasn't in on him. The one shot that he had space on, he missed it. But then the shot that he didn't make when he got injured, because he had no space to come back down. He had to land straight down, and when he did, his leg was to the side. He was
that
not
a
getting the
fast
space
break?
he got in the first half. No, it wasn't a fast break.
I'm trying to remember exactly what that play was. Actually, I remember seeing it, but he jumped on a Noel. He came down on the
No, he didn't touch him. He landed straight on his own.
Oh, his own foot?
Just on the floor.
Trying to remember the play exactly.
He didn't shoot well, but he still scored 20 points, had 14 assists,
in the first half.
had only 1 turnover.
In the first half. I'm not saying they gave him too much space in the first half, and he was also the pick and roll.
Yeah, but the pick and roll again, he was eating with Capella. He threw up to Capella. He threw a few to Congo. Look at what he had in the third quarter. Go ahead.
2 points in the third quarter.
I'm trying to remember what he had in the third quarter because he was killing us the whole game. We really didn't have an answer.
No, it was the first half. The first half. I think he went like 1 for 7 in the third.
Let me see. Game logs, Trey Young. Anybody else any other points as I look this up? I'm not cutting you up, EJ. I'm just trying to look.
No. I'm good with that. I want you to look it up, and then I want you to let me know what you find.
Let me see. Does it show?
My bad. I'm not by my computer. I'm in the middle of a session. So.
Are you good, bro? No worries.
So someone's saying that he had 14 assists.
Yeah, he had 4 assists, 2 points, and 1 steal in the third quarter. Came out. So yeah, he came out in the third, I believe, right? Yep, he did.
No, I'm talking about scoring wise. What do you have?
Yeah, but he's still effective though. Yeah, and again,
no, I'm not saying he wasn't effective. That's gonna if you're not getting your points. What I'm saying is to score.
But if you're still getting assists, assists are just as deadly as points.
And 4 steals.
Yeah.
He was still cooking.
Those steals were not because he was defending well. The Knicks made terrible passes. It's not like he was out there initiating defense. That's not what Trey Young does.
No. The point is that he
wasn't doing that.
Hold on. And Trey Young in that quarter, let me see how many attempts he had. He did have 6 attempts. So he missed four of those shots, I guess, in the paint. But he still had 4 assists. He was still, this is a team stat, but he's still a +6 in the third quarter.
That's
so again,
okay.
he was
I'm not
just
saying he wasn't effective. What I'm saying was when he went down, his game wasn't in a position where you can say that they would have won, because I don't know that. There's some shots that he would have taken away from guys that made shots.
But put like this, Bogdan, Porter, and Lou Williams all were ball handlers in the pick and roll, and they were nowhere near as effective as Trey Young.
But that has more to do with the Knicks playing it better. They've done all year in the second half.
Right, but Trey Young is a guy. He's a snake. Like Trey Young is going to sit there. How many times you see him? Once he got around that pick, he made sure to actually, whether it's Derrick Rose or Payton, learn when to push off of them, and then we're still playing way back on him. And even the few times that we did try to play up on him, we mistimed it, like the one Noel had, mistimed the jump, got the pass to Capella. So it don't really matter about the scoring. He was still effective. And the fact of the matter is that it's like even if he wasn't doing good scoring-wise, people still had to respect that. The other guys, Bogdan could not weave around and get in that snake position as good as Trey Young. Lou Williams he was effective in it, but he was pulling up for mid-range shots. So it's like we know where Lou Williams like to spots, right? Like right outside the foul line. Same, and Kevin Horter, he's actually
he killed us in the first quarter. But he killed us in the first quarter.
He feeds off Trey Young though.
He feeds off the pick and roll because he sits in the corner or he sits at the wing, and if he doesn't get the ball quick enough, he will just drive to the basket and hit a little floater, or if he's open, the lane's open, lay it up. But that's it. But yo, Charles B, you're my man, and you really gonna be the one to do that?
Well, Chuck B, we know Chuck B is going to try to take away everything
He's a
from the Knicks
pessimist.
to win. But Chuck B, did you see what I showed with IQ's defense? IQ's defense was actually solid that game, bro. You didn't give. I don't hear you give him any credit, bro. But guys, any other thoughts on this game? Please. Yeah, I'm not trying to. I just want to make it a little more fluid. If you had any game thoughts on the game, any notes you've taken out, you want to put out there. I thought another thing too. Derrick Rose is definitely a good. He's a good broken play playmaker. Like he's so invaluable in that sense that when we run things, I can show it. I have like 2 clips. I don't want to bore you guys. That when plays break down, like he still has that talent to beat this guy 1-on-1 and scored about 3-4 seconds left on the clock. So not Trey, excuse me, Derrick Rose. We could talk about who's probably one of the more underrated players on the Knicks. He would probably be my candidate for the most underrated pickup this season. I know we have Noel as well, Alec Burks, Bullock. But just having that option in the rotation, especially against teams' second units, who don't have probably as good as players, defenders out there as they may do their starters. And Derrick Rose is still he's up there in age. He's still a Hall of Fame type talent. I won't say he's playing at that level per se, but he still has like 70% of it still left in him.
I think that's the 2 of those things. I was scared that D Rose was going to show fatigue from the COVID. And it looks like he's getting his energy back, man. He has that hop in his step. So I'm like elated that for the final 12, man, he's going to be that way. And it's kind of crazy with Capella grabbing 22 rebounds. We out-rebounded them 49-41.
Yep.
There was a stat that was talked about on our favorite podcast, The Ringer. They talked about how of the 100 players that got COVID this past season, all of their numbers dipped like drastically coming back. And like it's tough when you think about how like when you just look at how COVID-19 affects the lungs. Like that recovery period afterwards.
Exactly.
I got coworkers that took a month to get back to like what they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm telling you, man, it's nothing easy to get back from. It's rough, and I hope Alec Burke could get back quick too.
Nick,
do you know if he has it or if it was just contact tracing?
He has contact tracing.
Contact tracing. Okay.
Thanks.
Nick, that's just to get back to like walk and go to work and like do normal things. That's not to be a professional athlete, and that says a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one plus side is he has decent lungs from the beginning, I guess, because he's an athlete. But so his recovery time would be easier.
What was that, GM?
That's my Mac being trash. Look, I have my new computer. When I set it up, what the hell is? I apologize. Nick. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna take it there.
Sound like
So I'm gonna take it there. So I'm gonna take it there.
I think Chuck did that to your computer.
It's probably Chuck, man. It's not you, G. It's my computer. Trust me, it's not any of you guys. It's my computer. My beloved Mac is trash. I don't know what happened to this great computer. Please go ahead, Nick.
2,400 apps open.
No, I don't have 400 apps.
No, I know, but did you? Trash. I don't know if you rebooted. The cache probably needs to be flushed.
Oh my God!
So I'm gonna take it there. I've been patient too.
Cook, man.
I know Julius Randle's player efficiency, especially in last game. I don't think he was too bad last year, but I know he's had some games where he's had some bad turnovers. Even though we won those games, but his turnovers tend. But when Julius Randle is on the ball, that is a high caliber offense with the right players that could beat a lot of people. And it's half court. It's not fast paced, but we get really good shots. One thing I say about Chris Paul, because he's the only person that comes to mind, even though he's not playing at a fast pace in his older age, somehow when he's commanding and controlling the offense, the flow looks like it something that came from a fast break. Can y'all kind of see where I'm coming from? Yeah. It's ways to have your offense, your half-court offense, guys going downhill like it's a fast break, even though it initiated from the half court. That happens for the Knicks a lot, guys. And where I'm getting to is, why would we change our brand of basketball? Like, why would we go out to get players that we might have to bend and make comfortable rather than plug and play. Like, we may not even need a superstar. We need somebody who shoots high from 3-point, whether they're a 3 or a point guard. We need somebody who plays great defense and is disciplined. Is disciplined to play for Tibbs. You can't be some candy ass playing for Tibbs. You can't be mentally weak playing for Tibbs. We need guys that fit in the system more than we need players that fill up the box.
Everything you just said, GI. Everything GI just said is anti-Lonzo Ball.
Hey, I think Lonzo demonstrated when he played against us. Who the hell wants a guy that doesn't want to come out and show why you want him?
Yeah.
But here's the thing though, it's not because he kind of all over. It's not necessarily that now Tibbs infamous just doesn't play with pace, right? Just doesn't play pace. All year he played with pace was that 1 year with the Wolves, and they didn't make it to the playoffs. They're 14th in pace. They just they didn't make it to the playoffs. But I think it's
you really say I was all over the place.
Yeah, because you first said it was you went from pace to talent, and the funny thing is that when the Knicks actually play with some pace, as in getting to their sets a lot quickly, they're actually a lot more effective. Many times when Randle holds the ball and gets into these ugly post ups, and teams can play out passing lanes, and where RJ whatever tries to flash and they don't fall for, or they don't have that space, we suffer. We live with our defense. So again, if you get talent around Julius Randle, I'm not saying just get any talent. Like Lonzo Ball, to me, I've said it many times, I don't think Lonzo Ball is a Tibbs point guard. It's not really, to me, it's not really a half-court point guard in any sense of the imagination. But if you get a guy who can, get to the sets a lot quickly, get the ball out to Julius Randle, set the offense a lot more quickly, then you don't even have to depend on Julius Randle being a post as much. You can play him a lot more outside, which he's doing already this year. You depend a little bit less on him. So it's about the second point you said, I agree. It's about getting guys who fit around Julius Randle. And even that sense, getting guys who fit around Julius Randle is most likely going to fit guys like RJ Barrett anyway. A wing who could shoot, he's going to be able to play with RJ Barrett, who's going to be allowed to slash, especially if you get a wing, a legit 3. RJ Barrett's going to be able to attack 2 guys who can use his strength and impose his will upon. You get a guy like Julius Randle who can kick it out to him for the open shot, right? So it's not necessarily
do you know how many open 3-pointers Peyton got? Now, those might have been on purpose, but you sure can't double team Randle if there's 3 shooters around him.
Thank you.
Good luck with that.
And 2 of them are shooting for over 40% now, Burks and Bullock.
Yeah, but you mentioned pace. I'm not sure if pace has really anything to do with it. If you have a pacey player,
it does have a lot to do with it. Some of these players, Gmo, don't play well in half court.
Right.
They are mad if they can't get so then,
like I said, Lonzo does not fit.
Can I finish? Because I've been patient.
I mean, you came to the show. You came to the show interrupting, and now you're telling me to go ahead.
He's on the patient pack tonight. He's the man. Let him rock.
No, once the conversation got going, I behaved myself. Once it was jokey, I'm a jokey. Anyway, let me finish, Gmo. I'm 30 seconds. What I'm saying is, some guys are great because they get up and down the floor and get at it. Okay. But those same players in a half-court set, they don't have the discipline. It takes patience. That's another reason we break teams down, because we slow it down and we grind. We make them play defense longer. And it really, it's a mentality, the way we play ball. It's a culture. Not everybody is plug and play in this system.
I agree. Okay. And the Knicks, offensively, everybody talks about that being something that is a problem for them. But over this last 2 week span, they're averaging 118 a game. And it's coming from making the right play, making the right read, guys hitting open shots. And it's leading to being able to have set defenses because you're making your shot, you're able to get back. It's not missing shots and missing open shots and letting guys run on you. We had a couple times the last 2 games, where Zeller was open, guys never got back. He got to play up. It happened with Collins. So we know what we're good at. This team knows what they're good at. And they let teams stick around for a little bit, and then they buckle down. And like I said earlier in the week, I think it was a Charlotte game, this team is built differently. They work out a lot. They're physically in shape. They tear people. They beat teams up in the fourth quarter and in overtime. Their physicality is much different because they worked on that. Tibbs has had these guys work on that kind of part of their game, and that's allowed them to take the next step. It doesn't have to be the X's and O's, but it's about the ability to keep going when the game continues. The continuity of the game gets deeper and deeper, and you're going deeper in the games. We've seen that in the last 2 overtime games.
So let me ask this then, and why is it that when I bring up draft prospects that we should be thinking about GI, you're like, no? Because why was that point even brought up? I don't even understand.
Right. I apologize. You're right.
No. I'm not. Oh, stop. I'm not coming at you like that. Stop. This is all love. I'm just saying.
No.
Every time we talk about draft prospects, you're like, oh, don't think about that this year.
You're right. You're right. You might find a player in the draft looking like this. I don't know who Corey Kispert is, but y'all keep talking about how he could shoot. He might fit. How bad defensively is he? Is he horrible defensively?
He's not a plus defender. He's not a good defender per se.
Well, you tell me he could come in and shoot 40% though from three.
Oh, you can shoot.
Hinton wants to talk. Well, he could shoot 40% from three. Put him on this team.
Go ahead, Hinton.
I'm gonna rain on the parade a little bit of everybody because I've been watching the games. We're short 2 players, but we should feel lucky because most of these teams we've been running into are a little bit more short-handed than we are. So I think we should be a little bit. So as happy as we should be, we should also go forward with a little bit of caution.
Agree. One of the things that we saw from the game, Hinton, was that we're great on the offensive end on pace, but when a team we're facing has a good pace, we can't set up our D.
Because think about this, right? And even in the Charlotte game, right? They still was short their 2 best offensive players.
Charlotte,
so
LA.
was the Pelicans. The Pelicans were short.
LA was short.
The Lakers were short.
Atlanta
was the
was
Pelicans short? Wait, hold on.
They were missing Hart. They were missing.
But come on, we're missing Alec Burks. That's a wash.
But I'm saying though, at the same time, that we're only missing Mitch and we're missing Mitch and Burks. But I'm saying that they're still missing more than what we are a little bit because they're a couple more players shorter than we are. We're only missing 2 guys. They're missing most of these teams we're playing missing 3 and 4 guys. Atlanta was short-handed. So
Boucher will be out. Boucher will be out.
So I'm not trying. I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy that we're doing this. But all I'm saying is just look at the other side of the pancake too.
I'm cool to move with caution. I'm cool to move. I think that's what we've done all year with this
team.
The
way I look at
caution.
it is,
they went 3-4 in a row. We move with caution. They lose the next 2. That's how they've been all year. But still, it's the NBA. You went 9 and 8 in a row. That's hard to do.
The way I look at it is, we have overachieved, and other teams have underachieved. It's not our fault. We're in 4th place, and we're only 6 games over 500.
Yeah, we're still in our position for a reason. We still won the games.
Yeah, it's those teams. It's those teams that throughout the season, because it's not just the Knicks that they're blowing games to. They must be blowing a bunch of other games too, because a lot of them teams are under 500. It's not our fault.
And here's the thing, though. Here's what I think that's sustaining about this run right now. I'm sorry to cut you off, Nick. Just real quick. Here's what I think is sustaining. I've mentioned this before, is that you have everybody's buying into defensive philosophy in this team. Defense is not sexy in the NBA. Everything's offense. Shoot threes. Everybody wants to be Steph Curry. You have a bunch of one-year guys. Like, think about this. We've had years before where every year we were like, yo, Wayne Ellington, he's dogging out there. He don't give a damn. He's about to be out. He doesn't give 2 Fs. Marcus Morris. Spurs actually like Marcus Morris. I mean, let's be honest. There were games where he was chucking and he was trying to get his. You know what I mean? But again, you got guys who are selling out on defense, who are compromising their own games for the betterment of the team. And that's a culture thing. Because think about this. There's no one person on our team. We don't have a Tony Allen who, he came to the team and is like, yo, everybody follows his lead. And he's the defensive stalwart. He's the defensive lead of this team. It's all Tom Thibodeau. And in this game, the way they adjusted, I got it. Like I said, this is me personally. You don't have to agree with me.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the best, the games where I saw the best adjustments mid-game. Granted, Trey Young was out. The way we attacked one aspect of the game that was a thorn in our sides by Tom Thibodeau, and everybody was selling out. And this is not the first time we've done it per se, where everybody's selling out on something. But this game I thought was extraordinary how the Knicks were doing it. That's something that you can sell down the road. Or let me say sell. That's something that you can carry into future years. Yeah, when some of these guys might not be here next year, but the guys you draft, like to what G.I. was saying, I know he didn't mention draft, but he was talking about bringing guys in. Now I was like, look, I'm not going to draft such and such. I know he may have this type of ceiling, whatever. I'm going to draft this guy who may not have as high as ceiling, but in this system that we run, he's a plus multiplier. You know what I mean? Like that gives you a nice foundation, a nice little roadmap as to what you want to build team-wise with this team. And I think that what they've done with this team, when think about this. You have guys next year who may not be here next year, and they might go to another team, and there might be a free agent or a pending free agent that might be like, how's the Knicks? And that guy, and it sounds corny as hell, but they might say glowing things about, that team, bro. Tom Thibodeau's this, man. The players, we all have fun. We all, it was a great atmosphere versus, come on, it's the Knicks. Like, let's be serious.
Randall's comments about Tibbs.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Randall's comments, but first and foremost, I want to allow in Mr. Mr. Organ Thifter. You be hearing Organ Thifter. Even only Chuck would know what I'm talking about. But Chuck, I can't do it well because I'm doing the list. But one of the greatest songs of all time, if you've ever heard it, it's called "The Realist" with Coogee Rap and Mobb Deep. One of the greatest first verses I've heard of all time. I still don't remember. I can't say all lines of what he said. But Chuck B coming in looking like a bootleg L Cool J with the all white on. How you doing, sir? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm glad GI is adding some truth to a lot of the stuff that's being said, right? This is fool's gold.
Oh my!
Hold on. Wait, hold on. I want to say something just a second ago before he.
Hi, Chuck.
I really gotta say this. I know everyone likes to bring up how other players or on other teams are missing. I want to bring up something about our defensive system. We play basically. I mentioned it weeks ago. God, I can't even think of it right now.
Help the helper.
I bring up basically we play drop coverage. Hold on.
This guy Chuck is such an effing hater. He comes in here. The first thing he says is the basic downplay the success that we're talking about, man. But go ahead, Nick. I mean, cut you off.
We do have a system that calls for us to cover the ball handler and actually bottle them up. The best defensive player in that system on our team so far is Mitchell Robinson. Helping the helper, the way he has improved his game on covering people on the perimeter, also calling out coverages, has been Mitchell Robinson. Finishing off the defensive play, he is the best at rebounding the ball. One of the things that's a big problem with our team as of right now is finishing defensive plays because Noel, he just has slippery hands or bricks for hands. The idea of just saying that, like from a defensive standpoint, we've held it down, but we've lost the most important player on our team, our MVP on defense, and no one wants to bring that up. Like he is the MVP on defense for our team. And I've been critical of Mitchell Robinson as GI has well documented, but you cannot sit here and say that Noel is just this groundbreaking player that we have to re-sign and we could just let Mitchell Robinson go, because Mitchell Robinson is actually way better than Noel, and he makes us just that much better because he finishes the play better than other people. And I'm not gonna sit here and say Taj has been admirable, but Mitchell Robinson is much better. Like you and then we've lost our best defensive player to be the third best defensive team in the league. The Lakers are up there in defense also.
Like number 12.
They have not let up on defense. They're still defending well. the Atlanta Hawks, even though they lost their best defensive player, we could say we don't have our best defensive. I mean, they have lost their best offensive player. We lost our best defensive player, and we're still playing. Like we can't just discredit our own progress or success around our losing certain players too.
Yep.
Not to mention, Alec Burke, when he was at his peak of powers, was averaging close to 20 plus points per game. That's our bench. That you could do the math and look at how much points we get out of our starters. It's close to 50 to 60 points per game. Do the math on scoring the other 40 points because we average like another 109, I think, per game. Alec Burke is a big part of that. 20 points? I mean, come on. Like, you can't just discredit the fact that we lost 20 points off the bench.
Okay.
Go ahead, please. I'm waiting.
He's going to find a way. You know it.
That was very eloquent. I like the delivery.
You know, you're my favorite, Chuck. But go ahead, please.
Okay, that's nice. You got good taste, but everything you said was terrible. But
what?
I still like you're still on my Mount Rushmore, but you lost it. You lost a few rocks for that. Mitch is the last line of defense. So the last line of defense can't be the most important part of the defense. The defense starts at the top.
No, Chuck. The defensive system is to take away.
Let me finish.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'll let you spew all of that mess and didn't interrupt. Okay. Now, it starts with the guards. That's the first line of defense. Mitch is the cleanup of the defense. So once they get beat and the defense get broken down, that's where Mitch come in. Mitch is a help defender, a great help defender. He's not a great on-ball defender. He's a great help defender. Now, the thing that get me about most Knicks fans is when I say a team was missing their key players. I'll name people like Greek Freak or LeBron and AD, and they'll come back with Mitch. I don't get that.
I know what you're saying, Chuck, but we beat.
Hold up, Eric.
Let him finish.
Let the man talk.
Eric, Jesus. I haven't spoke since you got the beard back.
Yo, you see how he couldn't just keep going? He had to send a dart. Go ahead, Chuck.
You saw me when I had the load.
Yeah. That's nice. Killing my train of thought, man.
You were saying that when people mention their best player, Giannis, whatever, that we mentioned Mitch.
Yes, Mitch. When I mention other teams, we got fortunate to play other teams without their key players. Everybody I mentioned is better than Mitch. So I'm not mentioning no guys that's on the end of the bench. Like Mitch would be on somebody's bench on a good team. Now, for one, the Knicks is a mediocre team being carried by a player that's on a great run. We are not a good team. We are mediocre.
Okay.
Nick, sorry. Mitch.
I mean, you're not hurting me by anything. Why?
I know. I'm not trying to, but I could, but I'm not trying to.
No. But Chuck, I don't believe we're a great team either.
Mitch is replaceable.
I'm not saying he's not replaceable, but I'm saying what he is the best at that role that you're describing.
I didn't describe a role.
You said he is the last line of defense. Yeah, that role.
Okay, all right. And Noel's is a better shot blocker than him.
Yeah,
I disagree with that. I mean, it's debatable, but I disagree with it.
No, it's not. It's not debatable. The only thing Mitch do better is rim run. That's it.
He rebounds better than Noel.
Well, offensive rebound.
Yeah, but
the weird thing on the offensive
under the basket, he's stuck under the basket. Why? Because he can't shoot from nowhere but under the basket. So that's where he's playing it at.
Oh,
That's so you're going to get rebounds if you're just stuck under the basket.
Oh, he's still no.
I mean,
he's one of
defensively,
the
he's
best
a better
offensive
rebounder.
rebounders in the league at 4. I think he averaged 4 before he went down.
Absolutely.
It's not again. Noel and Taj have been under.
All right.
Noel and Taj have been under basket and still can't average
on the basket.
offensive rebounds.
Listen to the logic. Centers that could shoot or not just planted under the basket waiting for an offensive rebound. They
So are you saying that Noel's could shoot?
way
How many
better
centers
than
do that?
But
But
is
he
wait,
doesn't
hold on,
shoot. When was the last time Noel shot the ball?
Oh, the last game.
No, you're talking
Yeah,
about
the last couple games.
Last
man.
game.
But he's not a shooter. Hold on.
But he's not like it's not an offensive part of his game where he shoots the ball a ton. Like
Yeah,
you're acting like if that's like a staple of our system. Noel taking jump shots.
No. I'm acting like Mitch taking a shot is not an option. So him being under the basket.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but hold on. No. Hold on.
That 1 + 1 doesn't equal.
I don't
to
agree
2,
with
right?
you.
Taj and Noel well. Many times they're not always. Many times they're right under the basket, and they can't get the offensive rebounds Mitch can get. One of Mitch's talents, as much as you want to downplay Mitch for some weird reason,
No,
Mitch
he's
can at
more
least
athletic.
tap the ball in traffic and get the ball back to himself and give a second chance points. Our second chance production, I say time and time again, you go and check Clean the Glass, has suffered immensely without Mitch. Now we've won games, but we can't sit here and deny that one part of our offensive system, a system where we literally wind down the clock, and we don't have prolific shooters where if you give it to a RJ or whatever, not to say RJ, one of these other guys that you're depending on these guys to hit the shot, like say a Dame Lillard or Booker. Those second chance points are very important. So as much as Mitch has not expanded his game to be a shooter, he's improved his defense. Defense is not just blocks. Again, if I'm high checking his defensive field goal percentage versus Noel, it's probably better than Noel. He's also Noel also could defend the three good too, so I'm not gonna take it away from him. But Mitchell, I don't understand where this argument is going. Why are we talking about Mitchell Robinson? Where did Mitchell Robinson even?
I don't know either.
I brought Mitch as being a good player.
We never been 500 with Mitch. We never been 500 with Mitch.
Are you kidding me? We've
We're
been 500 with
without
Mitch on this team.
When? Not with him playing.
Hey,
Nick.
Oh, let Stephen Fox go. Hope you.
All right, go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
a couple stats. Cleaning the Glass, we're 9th on offensive rebounds, but a shout out to George from Knicks First for validating the point that over the 8-game winning streak, we're 4th in the league in offensive rebounding.
Can you also check offensive rebound when Mitch went down?
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that we're still being competitive on the offensive end. We can't wait. Obviously it was a big loss with Mitch, but whatever Tibbs and Nerlens and Taj and everything, it's pretty good that we're still 9th in the league in offensive rebounding.
That's 9th for the whole season, right?
For the whole season, but over the 8-game stretch, we're 4th now.
Right, and this is what I want to do. Like I said, I'd rather check when Mitch went down. And again, I'm not saying that again, we've been winning, right? We don't know 8-game winning streak. But to partially Chuck's point, unfortunately, is that we've played some teams that are missing some guys, right? When you talk about the Lakers, they had your boy Drummond, but again, AD and LeBron, granted, LeBron is not, but AD and LeBron make a big difference, right? So that's why I want to look at where's Mitch and say, yo, look, I know people may not like Mitch, but Mitch did serve a part in this offense. And again, think about this 8-game, 9-game winning streak, or 8-game winning streak, right? Is it sustainable, right? That's why I rather look, okay, when Mitch went down, what was our production then, before he went down and after he went down, right? So I don't even know where this is going. Like, Mitch is viable. I've never heard people sit and say, yo, Mitch is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know where that's coming from. That would never come out my mouth.
All right. All right. Let me just say, Trey Young being out that game changed the game.
Yeah, we mentioned that, Chuck.
He was Eric was going crazy.
No, Eric.
No,
actually,
what I'm saying is
Eric was actually on your side. Eric was saying that Trey Young. He was trying to make the point that Trey Young's production in the second half wasn't as prolific in the first half, and that the Knicks were. He was alluding that the Knicks were basically kind of stopping his sense of production. So he's actually on you just came in here trying to throw darts.
Yeah,
you have no idea who you're shooting.
All right,
exactly. Sorry. Shooting blanks. That's it.
Shooting blanks.
No.
Blanks.
No,
that's not a pausable moment. Just to let you know.
No,
because you can say shooting blanks. All right, there's no get out your mouth.
You better stop that.
So Chuck, did you have random darts?
You got a freak shirt on. I'm just saying.
Yes, a Greek freak. It's Knick.
I'm just messing with you, Chuck.
The Greek freak.
Serious, bro.
This guy, Chuck, he just came in here. There was no rhyme or reason as to his attack. I don't even know where this went. Anybody else have any comments on the Hawks game before we move on? Chuck, any more points to hate on? We're on the Hawks game, sir. Look at him.
Pondering.
Look at him. This is sad, Chuck. You should be ashamed. This is sad, bro.
He's pensive.
It came down to Trey Young being out. It boiled down to that. And if Trey Young didn't get hurt, then you wouldn't have seen Quickly doing what he did because he can't defend nobody, so he wouldn't have been in the game for long.
But he actually did.
We shot 54% from three.
No, bro. I said he can't defend nobody.
But he did. He defended Hoarder several times.
No. I said if Trey Young didn't go out, then Quickly wouldn't have been in the game as long.
And you know who Trey Young was killing for the most part?
He would have been killing Quickly.
No, it was Peyton and Derrick Rose who he was killing for the most part. I don't remember many possessions where Quickly was the main guy. Now it may have been a few here and there, but Rose I think committed 2 fouls on Trey Young, and Payne was getting eaten up from the first possession. So you just want to say and attack Quickly. Quickly was actually on guys like Hoarder and Bogdan late in the game. He did a really good job on them. I just showed 2 examples where he basically made them take bad shots or pass it out to guys like Solomon Hill who couldn't hit the shot. And he had that steal, the one where Derrick Rose basically saved the ball out of bounds. That was all initiated by Quickly reading the passing lanes. But y'all don't give credit. Y'all look at stats and say he started out not being a good defender, but y'all don't see the changes in his game. You can't say and tell me he played bad defense that game, bro. Give me 3 examples. Chuck, I implore you, give me 5 examples of Quickly playing bad defense, especially in the end of the game, bro. And I'll say he played bad defense.
Well, you want 5 at the end alone?
The whole game. The whole game. Sorry, I didn't say. I apologize. Give me 5 the whole game, bro.
Well, if I go and rewatch the game, I'll give you 10. How about that?
Go ahead. We'll wait. When you come back next week, we do another weekly. I'll be here waiting for it. Because you say here you just don't like Quickly's game, but if it Quickly shows you any form of improvement, you ignore that. Just like, but on the flip side, when DSJ gave you good defense for 4 preseason games, you were ready to call him a good defender. You did it several times, bro. It's like you just hate.
Well, others pointed that out. Others pointed his defense out.
No, you did.
No, they did.
Bro, you pointed out several times, Chuck.
They did.
Quickly was a good defense. Like, bro, it was preseason.
RJ's D stood out a lot more than Q's.
Yeah, RJ had worse defense than Quickly that game. What are you
Thank
talking
you.
about?
Thank you.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that.
That game, the previous game, the previous game before that.
All right.
Lawrence Mabry, Susan Lawrence Mabry, Susan Ronda Mill, David Jackson, who's Mark, IKBM, Eugene Stanton, salute to the guys. Kaiser Sose, as always, bro. Salute to you guys, man. Cully, salute Derek, salute, man. Justin L, 19 Con, man. NYC 84. Salute to all you guys, man. Anybody have any more comments? I'm going to move on to the interview that was with, and I'm just going to play parts of the interview. I'm not going to play the whole interview. With Woj. Woj had some interesting things. It's really just one. But, Nick G wants to. He thinks this is groundbreaking. By the way, I'm only joking, Nick G. But,
well, I got to go to work. GI, keep it real, man. Because GI be telling the truth.
Hold on, GI. Do you agree with Chuck?
Take care, Chuck.
I Foxy. Nick,
I agree that he likes my take.
I'm glad to see you back,
man. All right.
Yo, Chuck. This guy's a jerk. He said anyway, peace out, Chuck. This guy's a jerk, man. Peace out, bro. Holy F, man. He's calling him to jail. If anybody gets a reference, man, that's the only reason I'm laughing. Man. He's not like no DMJ Electronica, man. So I want to move on to this interview that your boy. By the way, Randle stayed. He caught himself a few times. So I want to go to this one little part where he was talking about the dinner he had with
Wes and Rose.
Wes and Peyton. He said another agent or another player of the 8, but he didn't say who that player was. And then also,
he said it was the same. They share the same agent.
Yeah. They share the same agent, but he didn't mention. I thought he mentioned a player, but he didn't say who the player was.
No, he said Peyton.
Yep.
He said Peyton. I thought he mentioned somebody. Right,
he did say Peyton.
I thought he said somebody else he was with the dinner. I apologize if I heard it wrong. So let me play this. It's at the 10-minute mark. So let me.
And you heard the
Let me get to this.
I don't really like calling on my agent. I always go back. It was one night I was working my butt off. I was out for it.
That team, and you went through hard times there. You go on to New Orleans, but this year with this team and sort of connecting with Tom Thibodeau, does it feel to you like right time, right place, right coach for you?
Absolutely. A lot of things came like full circle, honestly, Woj. I won't lie to you, because like last year was definitely I knew the challenge I was accepting, but still, man, like things hit you from all different kind of places that you're not always gonna be prepared for. And that's kind of what happened to me. You know, I worked my butt off. I was ready for it, but at the end of the day, you know, when you're not winning and you're not playing your best basketball, it's tough. And I always go back. Like when I say things come full circle, it's really crazy, because I always go back. And one night I was going through it, man. I was really upset. This really started at the beginning of the season. I was really upset, and I'm at the restaurant. My agent Aaron, he actually called me. He was like, "Man, I'm coming down there to see you." And I don't really like calling on my agent, man, 'cause it's really like family, like how we operate. But he's like, "I'm coming down there to see you." So he comes down there to see me. It's me, it's Elford, because it's his other client. It's him, Kenny Payne, because Kentucky was playing in New York during that time. We're at Scalantella. It's Leon, and it's Wes. And this is like in November or December. So this is how crazy it is. So we're talking. We're at the restaurant. Like, they see I'm down there trying to pick me up. They see I'm down there trying to talk to me. Like, what is it that you see? What is it that you're feeling? What do you see on the court? What's going on? So I'm telling them all the things. Like, I'm complaining. Probably like, man, what's wrong with this dude? Like, you know, I'm telling them everything I don't like. You know what I mean? And what's really bothering me. And you know, Wes really took it to heart. And fast forward 6, 7, 8 months later, they really took it to heart. And they came, and it's kind of like they saved me, honestly, in a sense, because Leon took the job, and not too far along, Wes took the job with them. And Wes called me. He's like, "Yo, what do you need? What do you need to be an all-star? What do you need to lead this team?" And one of the things I told him was, I really, you know, I need a coach to hold me accountable. I need a coach to push me. So Tibbs comes in the picture. Then they bring KP along at dinner as well. And it's really, it's like I said, it really just comes full circle, because, you know, a year ago at the start of the season, like, you know, it was tough. And now, you know, you bring in a lot of things, you know, in the league are about situation, they're about opportunity and all that type of stuff. And all this stuff really kind of, for me, came together as far as coaching, opportunity, the team, and what everybody else is doing, how we believe in each other, how Tibbs has everybody buying in. So, you know, it's great, man.
When you say, "I want a coach to hold me accountable," what does that mean to you, Julius?
For me, it's about winning. So, you know, you as players, you know, in the league, you get a lot of freedom, man, you know, under certain situations. And, you know, one of the things that I did last summer when the season was over, I looked at all my tape. You know, I didn't want to, but I looked at my tape, and things you realize, like, you look at, you're like, you're getting away with certain things that you shouldn't be getting away with, or you're not maybe being coached the way that you should be, as far as like pushing me. You know what I mean? And that's what I told Leon. That's what I told Wes. Like, I want a coach who's really going to hold us all accountable for, you know, every night that we step out there on the court, that winning is the most important thing. And that's really what this team is about. Like, no matter what's going on throughout the season, you know, guys down from injury, you know, the schedule's tough, whatever it is, like whatever's thrown at us, we always say find a way to win. And that's really what it's about for us. It's about finding a way to win. So, you know, I just wanted a coach that was going to push us and hold us accountable, that winning's the first thing and no other agendas. Because we know that, like in this league, when you win, everything goes up. Everybody's value goes up. Everybody looks better when you're winning. So that's really what I really wanted.
So I'm gonna pause it right there.
Add Miller to that too.
What up, guys? Interesting stuff by your boy Julius Randle, but I want to let Nick G go first because he thought that that part was really telling. And I actually thought that was probably the most interesting part of the interview because a lot of stuff he said, I've heard it on the JJ Redick podcast and the New York LA stuff. You could tell. But Nick G, any thoughts on that?
So the big thing to me was, number one, if you listen to the timing, he's talking about back in November when Fizdale was still a coach and he was asking to be coached up better. And he had the talk with Leon Rose, amongst others. So if you think about it, and if you think about like the investment that probably is going to be happening with Randle, if he's able to affect the coaching staff, he's able to affect the front office, right? And also get the GM he wants, even though the team as a whole has always worked with Leon Rose as well as CAA very, very closely. This one player affected the coach, the management. I don't know about the draft, maybe the draft, but like he's affecting a lot of stuff. Okay, bring it back full circle. The coach from Kentucky that he took that was in the meeting,
KP,
the Leon Rose, the agent, Worldwide West, who took it personal. They all came on staff.
And Kenny Payne.
After the fact.
That's KP. That's what you're talking
about.
Yeah, I mentioned the coach too, Kenny Payne. Now, if they hired Tibbs to push him, of course, I mean, we all know Tibbs will push you and challenge you, right? Obviously, Mike Miller didn't cut it. Like, he probably did something, but Mike Miller didn't cut it, right? But now Tibbs is here, and he's pushing you. And he's getting the best out of him. I'm not saying that I disagree with anything, but there have been points in time where we thought that maybe Tibbs is not pushing buttons or doesn't have control, or Leon Rose, how much control does he have? We have some evidence that this guy, which I have no problem with as of right now, is asking to be coached harder, asking for a coach that's going to challenge everyone on the team, not be a pushover like Fizdale, and is asking for the leadership to demand the best out of the players on the team.
Accountability.
So, like, from a leadership standpoint, like, we could sit here and just dissect leadership, right? And just say, this guy is asking to be led and also asking to be put in a leadership role higher than what he was when Fizdale was there. And also, it's a definite shot at Fizdale. That is a definite shot at Fizdale. No one on the media, and this goes into the other interview about RJ that I was talking to Guillermo about. The media are going to go into these, and Guillermo, I got to restate like some of the things about what we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
The talk with RJ, the Ringer KOC. I love KOC. I love his analysis on basketball and his dives into players. But he did something on RJ.
Yeah, I watched it.
Nowhere in there he's talking about RJ's battles with Fizdale.
And Keith Smart.
Because there's people that came out recently that said that what's his name, Fizdale, was jealous of Hanlon, who's RJ's shooting coach.
Yep.
And like the idea that you don't have enough, I can't say it, manhood Like you don't have the confidence in yourself to say, okay, I can't get you where I want you to be, but that guy who's trained Jason Tatum, trained Donovan Mitchell,
Oubre.
Oubre, Bradley Beal. Well, and I'm gonna put some of his failures in there too. Ben Simmons, among others, right? He's failed with some, but he's succeeded with a ton. Even Markel Fultz is a success, to be honest. He's succeeded more than he's failed. And he's saying that I put RJ on a path pre-draft. I put RJ on a pathway before the season. RJ, mid-season last year, around the time of the ankle injury, I keep saying this, RJ, on a rookie contract, went to one of the best shooting coaches in the league and said, I need you to follow me and fix my jump shot. That's a shot at Fizdale, man. I'm telling you, like.
And by the way, Drew, that's why the Kevin O'Connor thing, I didn't learn as much. The first interview was actually with SNY, and this was.
Yeah, that was before the season started. Yeah, before the season started.
Yeah, it was a while.
Drew Hanlon alluded. He was like, we had to go back and fix a lot of things. And Drew Hanlon's actually, he didn't try to play, but it's like, what are you talking about? And then you come to find out, Keith Smart, what they did to RJ after the draft, where everybody knew RJ's game needed some tinkering, right? Especially with the shooting. The fact that, like you said, these guys went in, they saw that RJ Barrett. And the funny thing about I tried it because I was going to do a follow-up video, because I did a video at the beginning of the season, like his jump shot changed, if you see in the first few preseason games. But if you go back actually last year, you can't, and that's why he said it's subtle. Even that Kevin O'Connor video, that's probably the best shot they could find of RJ Barrett. And if the L shape, the shape of his elbow, right? One where Hanlon went a little bit more out to get a little more control. The other, these guys wanted it like that or more tucked in. And you can actually tell that RJ was battling it because last year you can't really find. It's almost as if RJ was fighting against his coach. Like, I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to try to revert back to. This is before he even got hurt. Go back to him before he got hurt. You can see him trying to get that jump shot down. So that's a great point that. Fizzo, the guy's trying to make it seem like he's a coach's or the everybody's buddy's coach, that they're so selfish and narrow-minded that they don't look at it and say, this guy's outside shooting coach, let's try to foster that relationship. I mean, look what happened. Fred Vincent with the Pelicans. He wasn't. I forgot what team was he with the Mavericks before? The Pelicans. I can't remember who he was with before the Pelicans. But the fact they bring him down there to New Orleans and then force that relationship. Obviously, he's with the team now. The fact that Fizzo and those guys couldn't see beyond their own pride.
Thank you.
Says a lot. And go ahead, my bad.
Can I have a point of protocol? Just a quick 5-second news flash. Jacob deGrom just pitches the gym. 6-0 shutout Mets. 15 strikeouts. One of the players in the history of Major League Baseball to start his first 3 games with at least 15 strikeouts, 14 strikeouts. Pedro Martinez, and I've missed who was the other one. What a complete monster that pitcher is.
Yo, I want to give a cricket update. No,
listen.
Can I just add something? Can I add something before we start again?
Go ahead.
They left. When RJ used to shoot, his shot used to block his range. So basically, they just opened it back up. That's what they did. Just simple. Yeah, he couldn't see.
Listen.
So, and they teach you as a child, you should never block your shot anyway. You're not supposed to be like shooting with the ball in the face anyway. Pause. You're supposed to always have it above your head.
Let me get to Ronald on the side, and I'm gonna get to E to G. So go ahead, Ronald, because you've been waiting for a while. I got you next, Hadouken.
Yeah, Legion, salute, brother. Glad to be on with you all. Peace to all my brothers on the panel.
Peace.
Hinton.
Was good.
Good to see you, fam. GI, good to see you. Good to see everybody that I didn't name. Shout out to the chat as always. I don't want to derail the conversation that's being had at this point in time, but I had to jump on because what I am noticing is a lot of winning apologists from stream to stream. I think we've come to a place where we're almost so I don't know, like we're desiring for this thing not to end, so much so that we're making apologies for winning, as opposed to just like enjoying this straight out for exactly what it is. You know what I mean?
Ronald, before you finish, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
That's mostly with one guy. And that guy, his name is Chuck B.
No, it's not just Chuck B, though. It's not just Chuck B. Like I was on this morning with Freezy, right? And I think like there's a lot of disclaimers made for, oh, this team was missing Trey Young. This team was missing this dude. Like as if the guys that we have on our roster are inconsequential to our winning. To the point that you made a little while ago, Legion, right? To give you your credit, right? As though Mitch not being present isn't a significant thing. Like Alec Burks not playing is not a significant thing. Taj getting busted in the lip is not a significant thing, right? Like all those factors are significant. And
Noel getting injured 3 times.
And injuries are a part of the game, right? And just because a star is not playing, it doesn't diminish the win. So don't downplay where it is that we are, because for the most part, right, there's probably been a handful of irrational people at the beginning of the season that said this team would be where it is currently. I am not one of them. I did not think that we would be where we are currently, right? And so don't take any credit. Or listen, we've struggled and we've lived in a place of pain for far too long for this team to sit here and apologize for winning. When do we start doing that? Let's not do that. Let's enjoy this. This is a magical season. This is going to be one of the ones that in the history books for this team, regardless of where it ends. Don't diminish it. Enjoy every bit of this, right? Don't downplay it and say this guy wasn't playing for this other team and yada, yada, yada. Like, man, enjoy the ride, man. Love every bit of it. Don't downplay what all these folks have been able to put together.
I agree with you. Trust me. Look, I get called. Look, I try to look at the game, and I think me, Hinton, GI, when you turn the live streams, E to G, when we're doing these games, man, we go to the good, we go to the bad, but we extol this team for, again, to me, I think Tom Thibodeau's done one of the greatest coaching jobs I've seen in, I don't say sports history, recent sports history. I want to say in Knicks history. Let me put it like that. In terms of you taking a team that has probably lost talent, your first round draft, your first pick in the first round is a guy who literally is, I don't want to say he's the least, I can't say he's the least contributing, but his impact is probably the lowest. I'd say the top 10. Maybe him and a Congo. Maybe I put like that, right? And the fact that he's getting guys on 1-year deals to sell out on a philosophy where it's like, look, these guys, some of these guys getting hurt. Some of these guys say, look, I'm not going to dog it. I'm trying to still get a contract next year. Let me play halfway. And we've had that in the past. For Tom Thibodeau to get these guys to play like that, I mean, that's a bang bang job. Julius Randle, and I want to get more to his interview. He talks about learning a little bit from guys like Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? Not just being a bully ball. He even said himself. He said also in the article in Atlantic where he's like, look, I thought that having that contract, it put pressure on me to try to be the man and force these bad shots and that stuff. The fact that he's looked at this game, a guy who you could say he's been productive, 19 and 10 is nothing to sneeze at, and said, let me change my game to have better impact. You know what I mean? I got RJ Barrett, and this is why I love RJ Barrett. He's a self-starter. When was the last time you had a rookie outside this year where our rookies, guys like Frank and Knox, you have to baby them to possibly get a 10-point game and I'll put you in the corner. Hey, I'm gonna get you. RJ Barrett screwed up his foot and was like, let me get back, like Nick has just said, let me get back Drew Hanlon, because what we're doing here, I'm not going to let these guys dictate and control my fate. Let me improve. I'm not going to have a coach tell me I need to do this and that. Let me control my fate. Like, for Tom Thibodeau to sit there and force that and all these things that happened this year, I give the Knicks their flowers. I'm happy. I said this team's going to 25 games. I'm happy I'm wrong. Last year, when I didn't want Julius Randle, and Julius Randle turned around for me, I'm happy I'm wrong on Julius Randle. Now, I was never wrong on RJ Barrett. That's my son. Come on, what are you talking about? But you'll never hear on this channel that I would go. And again, I've said it. Hinton's heard me time and time again. All my objectives for the season are ready. They're already filled. All this right now is house money. I might get excited for wins and losses as anyone does, but this season already is 100% success, A+. I'm good for the outside of the. Let me say A+ for Tibbs. Front office, I'm still whatever. But for Tibbs, to me, I think he's done a bang job. So, yeah. And again, how many these other teams are out there? Think about this. We give other teams out there credit, right? When say the Celtics say beat the Nets or something. I don't know if they beat. Just put like that, right? We don't sit and say, well, the Nets didn't have KD. We say, oh, the Celtics beat the Nets, so they're still good. We don't overanalyze these other teams to that extent. So the Knicks, you got to win what's in front of you, because you know what? The Knicks were losing. the same people, the same names will sit here and say, "Oh, the Knicks suck. We ain't never gonna." So you're always gonna have people gonna try to downplay the Knicks. We don't do that here. We just try to analyze. We sound boring at times, but we try to be as fair as possible. So salute to all the other channels, by the way. Great channels, but here we try to be fair and objective down the middle.
You know what? You know what we honestly.
G.I. loves Alfred Payne. So go ahead.
You know what we honestly should be saying. We got wins where players get hurt, but so does every other team in the league. I bet if we did a stat, every other team in the league got as many. So then now what? It's not our fault that other teams. Can we at least admit though some of the other teams are underachieving? But that has nothing to do with us.
100% underachieving. Like the Heat, they just lost again without Trey Young.
I don't think the Heat are underachieving. I think the Heat are just the Heat. I didn't think they was good last year.
Listen.
They did the same thing
last
year.
No.
You can say no, but
they overachieved.
But I didn't think they were. When you look at the talent level, they're not better than nobody. I don't even want nobody on their team except for Jimmy Butler and Bam. Like everybody else is,
I'll take Hero, but outside of that, come on.
Butler's already talking that they're soft already.
Hold on.
I'll take Duncan.
He's not good, but Duncan Robinson I didn't
say they were not good. I just said I didn't want them. You know, I just think they played over the head last year.
Yo, are we not this year's Heat?
We could be.
Yeah, I hope.
Could be.
I like that.
But the Heat didn't run. But I don't think the Heat had like a Philly and Brooklyn in front of them. And I think the Bucks are a little different this year with Holiday. So it's different.
If Mick Robinson could have had a historic year, we could have been this year's Heat. But
wait, one thing. Like, let's dissect the Heat run last year. They played the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. Well, sorry. They played
Pacers first round.
Giannis, right? Zoned up. They already played zone, and they took away Giannis. That's the one thing that when you look at the Celtics and stuff like that, like the Celtics never played zone against Giannis, and that's a hard-headed coach, just like how people say Thibodeau is stubborn. Their coach is so stubborn that he would lose against like Giannis to get to the finals. The Heat did some things that were actually out of the box, putting wings on top of the zone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's well documented, but the Heat they figured out already. Like the whole league has figured out the flaws of Tyler Hero, who everyone wanted to say that the Knicks should have drafted third overall that year instead of RJ Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Bull slugger.
Listen.
Our pretty much second round pick in Emmanuel Quickly is hitting. They said Tibbs does not play rookies or young players. He's playing them. I could go back in the past. Josh Okogie did, because he committed to his defense. Then you have Randle, who has just documented some stuff. Like, he is dedicated to getting better. Like, people are playing above their mind. And guess what? Jimmy Butler is self-sabotaging his own team right now, too, by calling them out.
I think it's mind games, but go ahead.
Mind games, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like calling out Bam. Like when you go on the Heat forums and stuff, they're angry at Bam that he's not aggressive. We're not angry with our own team. We like what we're getting out of our team. We want people to be better, like Knox, et cetera, our draft picks. But outside of that, like there's actual evidence that some of the Heat fans are angry at some of the Heat players. That's the year after they got to the finals. I'm just saying.
I think we, again, this is our first year of being here, man. I think that with the Heat, now granted, you could argue with Butler, that was their first year. I think that Butler knows that he could play those mind games with Bam, and it works with some people, or it doesn't work with certain teams. I think that team, it might, because I think that I don't see Bam being soft like Cat. You know, Cat is, you know, he's a house cat. He's, you know, you gotta, you know, make sure. He's a uber. I don't care what no one says. I think he's a naturally talented player. Probably one of the more. He's probably one of the most talented bigs in the game. Talented,
True.
It hasn't put together. He's scared of coaching. He does. And granted, even when you talk about, I know P might say now to say back, but Wiggins was like, I had no problem with Butler. And Wiggins on that team with the Warriors, I haven't heard anything. Now, please tell me I'm wrong. I haven't heard anything about Wiggins complaining. Granted, people still
Wiggins has been good.
Yeah, and I've never heard
defense.
Very
He's
good.
underrated. His defense has been good, and he's been scoring well.
Right. So
I've heard some Knicks fans want him next season.
He missed the layup at the buzzer the other day.
That was a bad game.
The point is that Wiggins was not the issue with the Wolves. So I think that what Butler's doing now, I think it's fine. I think he knows that, look, you are now the so-called king of you're trying to take away D-Wade's spot. I don't think he's sabotaging in that sense. So let's just chill out because we don't know what the Heat are going to do next year, how they're going to look next year. And the Knicks is our first year. I'm not saying that we don't look good right now, but we don't know how the system's going to go. Like if we put next year, if we go on a bad stretch like the Heat, we don't have no idea how things are going to go. So I just want to be cautious in that. I know our culture's changing, but we're not there yet. You know, so
I think we're just as susceptible to that type of scenario that the Heat are in this year.
More longevity. They got Pat Riley exposure. Been doing it for years. We don't have
things where the roster construction going forward would dictate the extent to which like we wind up going from, in my opinion, last year's Heat to this year's Heat, right? Like that's a very real possibility, depending on how the roster is constructed. What happens next will dictate that, like,
and how the playoffs go,
right?
You know what I mean? Matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm like not even remotely concerned about the playoffs so much.
You should,
right? Because at this point, like as Demo said, at this point we're dealing with house money, and for the most part, the way I see it, as long as we were in, right, we put ourselves in a position in terms of free agency where folks to say, you know, this is a team I can go to and actually contribute to and be a part of something that will enable me to be a winner in a weak Eastern Conference, right? I have an opportunity here. It's a very different set of circumstances in that regard. But if you don't change the roster, and I keep coming back to it, and we've talked about this multiple times, we still have 13, we signed Pell. We still got, $12-13 million of unused space on this team. Who doesn't use money in the NBA to construct a roster to bring in a decent talent, right? That could help take this team further along than where it is currently.
Well, that's what we've been talking about. Because Nick was just making the point about the them making Randle the guy. And here's what I say: we're playing with house money as long as no one gets injured, like a major injury.
Yeah.
RJ and Randle are averaging. I think they have the 2 most minutes in the NBA right now. And if Randle is your franchise guy and RJ is your next guy to sign after that, I agree with you. You should have gotten somebody. And I'm not saying to make these some crazy trade, but get something to take the minutes off of to try to help. Now, if they try to do that and they failed, that's one thing. But if that's your prized possession, try to find ways to take minutes off of him. And again, the thing about Tibbs, and as we talk sports, as we talk, we say, yo, y'all gotta love the honeymoon first year. Woo, it's gonna be beautiful. But Tibbs does have a history of wearing out his welcome. I'm praying that it's different now, but again, some of the same things we've seen before. Guys playing heavy. They have to do. I guess they have to do it to get into the playoffs. But he was doing this beginning of the season, playing those guys crazy heavy minutes. So, yeah, man, let's just be cautious with Tibbs and the front office. I'm more cautious about I'm more hesitant to give the front office because the Obi pick still bugs me out, and the fact that I don't think they tried hard enough to try to get even some type of ancillary help at the wing point guard position. Something off the bench, a Terrence Ross type, you know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. I bet,
I know we're going to transition from this. And I'm sorry for hogging the mic. The Obi,
go ahead.
I see you, Ian. I'm going to be quick for mine. Obi was the best available in a weak guard draft. We know that, right? This is the year to draft a guard. Secondly, in addition to that, because I've heard that conversation happen a lot often, Obi is a slow starter, and he's been that way his entire career. I've said that this entire time. Obi has never come out the gate doing what it is that he ultimately winds up doing. So I'll leave it there. Go ahead, brother. My apologies.
Yeah. The one thing that, when we talk about the Julius Randle interview with Woj, the timeline of this is before Leon got the job, before Kenny Payne. Everybody at that table became a part of this what we have right now. And what that tells me is when Leon was there, listening, Julius Randle told him what he needed, and they believed that Julius Randle could be the guy. And what they did this year was give him what he asked for. And he's done nothing but provided them with the ammo to say, okay, now he asked for this, we gave it to him. He's produced at a level that obviously is all-star level, but can be the guy level. And so what they did was build around his team. And I'm sure that's why they didn't make a move at the break. I'm sure they asked him, yo, what do you think you can rock with these guys, or do you wanna do something? Do we need something else for you to get better? And I'm sure he said, yo, let's rock with these. I want to rock with these guys. It's more than just on the court. It's more than just on the court for this team.
And
that's what other guys who want to make moves don't understand. This is more about the relationships these guys built. Like G-Mo says, he points it out multiple times. These guys are one-year deals, giving their body up to play good defense, to chase loose balls, to get in there on three-man rebounds, get bumped in the face. These guys are putting it all on the line. For what? To be a part of this. And that tells you everything you know about what's happening within that organization. It may not be going to get a superstar in a trade or sign a guy to a max deal that's not already on this team. It's about what these guys believe in. And Tibbs is at the helm of that, and Randle's at the helm of that.
And what I just heard a player basically say, he is the franchise. This is my team. I am not going nowhere. And if that's the truth, I am becoming, just after that interview, I got hyped over Rose doing a similar interview, and he fell on, not Rose, Doc Rivers' son.
Rivers.
Austin.
Rivers.
Yeah, Austin Rivers. I got hyped when he did his interview and said, I want to be here and we're going to do something. You're going to be surprised. And then he fell on his face. So I hope I don't fall for this interview. But Randle sounds hella confident. Like, this is my franchise. It's on my shoulders and I'm going to take it. And if it works, I don't know about you, Foxy, but I'll go for the ride.
Here's what I like what Randle said. We're going to move on. I like the fact that Randle said that he wanted to come here for the challenge. And you got a lot of these guys who, they act like they're all tough in the NBA. They act like, they do the whole hold me back when they're in fights and stuff like that. But when worse comes to worse, when it's the time to take that final shot, when it's time to play, defense, you have guys who will switch on to other guys, LeBron James. You have, guys who just, they don't want that challenge in New York. There are many players who could have come to New York. You know what I mean? And granted, look, was the situation perfect? No, when they came. But again, this is why I don't like using the word superstar. If your boy Chris Webber could go to a team that had freaking Mitch Richmond, and they were the worst, and granted, he didn't want to go, but once he got there and he sat there, cleaned it up. If he's not a so-called superstar, I don't want to hear about these other guys who could have came to New York, but they want to go and play with their friends and they want to win the easy way and they want to avoid New York. You know what I mean? And the thing that Randle said, put like this, to what Nick G was alluding to, is like before the whole, he basically was probably, a major factor as to why the coaches would change. Like, if you're a superstar level player, no owner would sit there. Most owners now they'll appease you. Who do you want? Kenny Atkins? You don't want Kenny Atkins here anymore? We'll get you Steve Nash. You can do whatever you want. If you want a disciplinary, we'll get you what coach you want. So again, it's not just that people come in and say, "Oh, the Knicks that is, we have a bad front office." Our owners, a lot of these owners are god awful. You know what I mean? But it's the fact that these guys are scared to play in New York. They're scared. And Julius Randle talked about it. He said, look, when I'm out on the street, some people last year would tell me I had a bad game. He's like, I don't care. It doesn't hurt me. So Julius Randle might be, one of those guys. It's like I say, the Batman thing. He's a leader. He's the hero we need right now, not the one we deserve, man. Because how many guys sit there, improve their games, and become franchise level players for the Knicks? You know what I mean? So, but I want these guys to have some fun, man. A few things, man. Your boy Zion Williamson. The media is hyping it up. I want to play this garbage. And again, Zion might be, I don't want to say this word. Pause before I say milking it. Pause. But when they asked him about MSG, that's what he said. He's smiling.
Give me a second. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
I
love playing. I love playing here. When I played here in college, and this is my first time playing here in the pros. And I mean, this atmosphere, you know, whether they're cheering for you, whether they're booing for you, it's amazing. Honestly, I think outside of New Orleans, obviously, I think this might be my favorite place to play outside of New Orleans. I can't even lie to you.
I just thank you, Ismail Rich, for $5 super chat. Says salute, great show with great panel. End of season predictions for the top four: Philly, Nets, Bucks, Knicks. ECF prediction: Nets versus Knicks. New York basketball's back. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I agree, New York basketball's back, and we're more popular than the freaking Nets, who have a better record than us. Again, to me, I don't put any seriousness on this. I'm tired of players doing this because he's smiling the whole time. Now, granted, I think that he wish he was drafted by the Knicks. I think he is a so-called big game, kind of big lights player. I think he would love playing the Knicks, but here's a few things. By the time he's, 2 years from now, when he's a restricted free agent, obviously Pelicans aren't let him go, but I think he has some serious injury concerns because the way his body is built and the amount of weight he has on him. So the Pelicans might have to make a serious decision regarding Zion Williamson. Now, they're going to probably do it just because, again, the star power, they need the attraction, and that's the guy they're building around. I'm not sitting there hoping the Knicks make some ridiculous offer for him, or make some offer sheet that the Pelicans don't want to match. And by the way, I'm looking at Will Barton just injured himself. Sorry about that. Just had a hamstring injury. It looks like it. He's in pain. How do you guys feel about this garbage, Zion Williamson? And now everybody's trying to use the Knicks for clicks and saying that. By the way, they're saying that Knicks fans are sitting here crying for Zion Williamson. I didn't see any Knicks fan crying.
We like defense, and he's not defense.
First of all, you got to leave 20% of your salary on the table to leave the team with your bird rights. And your first contract is what, 125? You're gonna leave 20% of 125 behind just because what? He can make sneakers. He can sell sneakers. KD was selling the most sneakers out of OKC. So no more to say about that.
But Nick, remember we were talking about this, right? We were talking about, and you brought up a point. We were talking about how I wanted Gary Trent Jr. and I wish that the Knicks would have acquired him and had him relinquish his free agency rights. And you said that you think that Zion might be that guy. Do you want to explain that?
Me?
Was it you said? I thought it was you who said that. Or was it him?
I don't remember seeing that.
No, I think we had a discussion whether he would do it, but I don't think he's going to do it. It doesn't make sense for him to do it. But let me say this on this topic though. Remember in that lottery, he was sick that they got the number one. Remember how he looked? He did not want to go there, which is cool. But I'm not going to play into that because it is what it is. But we know that he wanted to be here. I don't care what nobody says. He was sick that day when you could see it in his face. Like they took him out there early. Remember, like he was gone. So, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. It'll be 2026 when they talking. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we have the 2025 championship anyway. So it don't even make no difference no way.
Here's my take on this, right? Like
you better talk.
I'm of a couple of opinions around this whole Zion thing, right? Like I don't get blown the smoke that he's given, right? How many times have we been used as a pawn for some other objective, right? I have a couple of ideas about what that objective may be, first and foremost. Secondly, I remember when RJ and Zion played at the Garden, right? I don't know if folks remember that interview when it was like, and folks were just like, would you like to play at Madison Square Garden? Zion had limited to no words, and actually him and RJ were laughing at one another, right? I honestly believe in that moment, he was like, hey, RJ, do you want to play in New York? He didn't answer the question, right? Probably because he knew RJ's family had huge ties and didn't want to say certain things. But be that as it may, the smoke that I'm talking about is this. No one, for the most part, stays in New Orleans, right? The Smoothie King is not the place that people go to set up a career in terms of basketball. So to me, that message was meant not for New York fans. It wasn't meant for the media. The media is going to turn that and spin it whatever way they want to, right? Stan Van Gundy came out a couple days prior to that and put his whole team on blast, right? Or a couple days after that. And so that made to me be a situation where it's like, here's what the situation is here. I really like New York. This is my favorite place to play after this. What are you doing to create an atmosphere and a buzz to keep me here? Is less about us, in my opinion. It's about what are you doing to make sure that that place is a place where I want to play a long time. I have 2 seasons where I'm not going to the playoffs, right? And this team is not actually moving in the way that he wants it to likely move because he knows he's a box office star. And how much more will that be the case if he's a playoff contributor? So, listen, we've been used too many times, a la Grant Hill and everybody else, to be caught up in this foolishness. Man, don't let that fool you. If he comes, he comes. But I'm not holding my breath on that.
I honestly don't want him. I'm good with him. I think that I might get killed for this. I think he's overrated.
I'm with you on that too.
He's a talent, don't get me wrong, but he's still not a good shooter, not a good defender by any stretch of imagination.
Can't shoot three. Well, he only takes less than one
takes
three
like
a game.
0.6. Yeah, he takes like 0.6. And the thing about his game, granted, he's an absolute disgusting beast down low, but his game is mostly predicated. He does have good footwork. I'll give him that. But again, it's mostly based off of strength. And to me, for a guy like that, the Pelicans still aren't winning. Like it's not like granted. Look, he's still a young player. He didn't play a full season. No one played a full season last year. He was hurt for someone with the meniscus tear. But I just think that he's overrated. I like, that's why one of the reasons I like Ja a lot more.
Randle or Zion.
I take Randle now, or I take Randle.
My bad. Let me be clear. By their second year in the league.
Randle's come back from a foot injury his first year. Like that's
broken leg. Yeah.
It's like
that first season doesn't count because he didn't play that many years.
Right, so but it's obviously Zion.
He's gotten better every year, Randall. But if he's this thick as a kid, what the hell is he going to do when he's mature, Zion? It looks like an injury's around. I won't wish that on anyone. Yeah. But we've been students of this game a long time. How many times have you seen a 300-pound, 6'8" guy?
Whoa, Steve! You said 6'8". He's 6'6". Don't give him
6'6". You're right. That's those are two huge. You're right.
Out here like Oliver Miller.
Oh, come on! All right,
Oliver Miller, he can't jump through the gym no more. He's just trying to play like Shaq. He's not tall enough.
Yeah, but you also have to take into genetics, right? Like, or his body makeup is the worst for his style of play. He has
terrible
the hips that
the shock every time
carry his weight. He's a walking injury, and he has not. He came in heavier, at least last year, after the right after the draft. He came in like heavier than he was at Duke, at like 280. Then after he got hurt from the meniscus, he came back like almost around 290 because he looked a lot heavier. If you look at the neck, like
they made him sit for almost 2 months. Remember, they made him sit.
But he was injured, right? He blew through his sneaker at Duke.
Yeah. So, but it's like, granted, again, it might be a genetic thing because I don't know what his dieting is. He doesn't seem like a guy. He doesn't seem like an Oliver Miller. So it's either two things. Either God is like, nah, you're gonna be
DNA,
like
man. That's who he is. That thickness.
Yeah, he's a football player playing basketball. That's what he is. He's a football
poetry.
player.
That's my hand.
He's a defensive tackle.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. I'd rather take your boy Julius Peppers, who had a more sound body, who played at UNC or whatever. I'd rather take him than a Zion, because Zion's body, it still seems like it's about to fall apart. Like, I don't know, man.
And I know this just from
said it 3
work or whatever. Maybe Nick could agree with it, but
it may not be Nick. Genetics. There are guys who just cannot. There are guys who can't gain weight, and there are guys who just cannot lose weight. And Zion, I think his father was a football player. His mother was a track star. So he just has genetic he's just a mutant. And unfortunately, he's in a sport where his explosiveness, going up and down on his knees and that stuff, and his body is probably not the best for him. Now, like Hinton said,
explosion could go both ways.
Yeah, and that's why I said I'm trying to give credit. He may not be an Oliver Miller. He's just eating Big Macs. He'd be like, look, I try to eat healthy and stuff. I just can't lose the weight. So I'm not paying for that. And no offense to him, God bless him, but
the thing, real quick, G. The thing is with Zion, even if he worked diligently and he got like slim and lost 50 pounds or whatever, and got
50 pounds.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just being facetious. If he got in crazy shape and he slimmed down and he was just ripped, he would get injured almost immediately.
Yeah.
Because his body, he is not what his body is supposed to be. It's just what it is. So, and maybe Nick, could allude to this because working in the healthcare field, we see it all the time, stuff like that. He can't. His body's not able to trim down and get in shape. It's just not what it's built for. And now his body's built this way. As hard as he works, he's not going to be able to lose weight.
All right, let me ask you this. Are you paying for him if he's a restricted free agent and the Pelicans are like, how much are you throwing money at him in 2 years?
There's going to be 30 teams. There's going to be every team's going to.
But I'm asking about the Knicks. Are you throwing money at him? Because y'all can say about this. Are you throwing money at him?
That's not a fair question.
What's the price? Randle is still Randle? No.
I would, because Randall's going to be 31.
What? What's the price?
Randall's going to be 31 when?
Can I make an argument?
Yeah, but Randall's 31-year-old body, I would take over.
So when he's 31, Zion's going to be 310 pounds.
How do we listen? And Tibbs is still coaching? How do we know that?
It'll be Johnny Bryant.
Hold on. What if we got a chip already and Randall was at the helm of that?
Whoa, hey.
You got to get.
Hey,
I'm saying because Hinton said 2025 and Zion's not available to 2026. So if the Knicks win a championship in 2025 and Randall's at the helm of that, after the 1 year after winning a championship, you're not going to you're going to get rid of Randall to get Zion?
You add on, and what's the price?
You can't add on. They're going to play. They want to do the same thing.
Like Ron keep asking.
4 year, 160. Probably have to pay more than that. 4 year.
Guys, wait, hold on. Most free agents leave their team after 8 years. Most guys.
7. 2026.
If you talk about give or take 5 more years from now, 2027, 28, you're talking about Randall is probably 32, 33.
But we said the caveat that the Pelicans are offering, right, at the restricted free agent.
No. You just signed Zion as a free agent.
20. No,
forget all that. Like just.
My bad. You're saying if we sign, okay, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, as a free agent, if Zion is healthy at that point, you sign him. Who cares?
That's what I said. Yeah, you do.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like you talking about 8. Well, pretty much in his 8th year. We could look at him and tell. We could see, is he actually dedicated to basketball? Is he dedicated to his body? Is he eating right? How is he getting injured? Like right now, I would not sign Kyrie Irving because he's always injured. Like there's all kinds of stuff that we could sit here and say by looking at players based on years that they've been in the league. Right now, it's too early. Like the thing about the medical field that Eric is referencing to, when you lose that much weight, especially in rapid succession, you lose calcium too, and you muscle waste. So he's going to lose strength to some degree. Remember when Melo went on a paleo diet, he started to lose his strength. He couldn't back down people. You lose bone strength and bone density because you got to lose weight. So then the calcium in your bones, like his diet has to be on point. You have to do it multiple years in a row so that it could be sustainable. So for Zion to lose that weight, talking about 5 years ahead of time, if he does it consecutive years in a row, he may be able to be healthy for a long period of time. Exactly. And that changes the argument.
You're also going off what Eda G said. Eda G was extreme in saying 50 pounds in a year. Like that you.
No.
Like,
I'm saying
but consecutive years in a row, that changes the argument because then he could sustain. His body will be adapted to it. It's not 1 year. Forget 1 year. You have to look at it from a stretched out space of time. And by 5 years, if he's lost the weight, is healthy, you sign him.
If he could pull a Kevin Love, I agree with you. That's probably his best example, right? A guy who's slim.
No, at 6'6", with his athleticism, losing 50 pounds of weight, you're talking about someone that's 230, 240 probably. He could body most people, and he could be a good replacement for Randall. He has passing ability, etc. He could jump out the gym, etc. By that point in time, you don't know what he could be.
That's true. I'm talking about right now. Just looking at right now, I'm good on him. Now, 8 years down the line, if he's healthy, we could reevaluate that, whatever. And obviously, Randall's not gonna. So I'm talking about him in 2 years when they offer him the offer sheet.
But we can't get involved in that. It's too early then, because he's be a max. He'll get way more with his team than with us. And then you're talking about you may have to trade someone to get him. It doesn't make sense. 8 years, just like with when Anthony Davis said, "I don't want to be here anymore." Then maybe you trade, or you look at signing him in free agency when he could just walk away from the team.
But
Why
what
you
I'm
look
saying
out
is-
to get somebody
what I'm
when
saying
you
is
have the
this
better
has-
team?
All I'm saying
The
is this has
Pelicans are-
everything to do with what Randall does over this course of time.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Yes, if Randall's not doing what Randall's doing this year for the next few years, then okay, if there's an offer sheet out, you make that pick. But if not, and Randall's doing what he's doing, and the Knicks are a successful team, I don't change
Randall's gonna be
course. I
just
keep Randall.
fine.
Can I say
I keep
this? If he
Randall.
lost 30, if he lost 30, 40 pounds, right? He's not Zion anymore at that point. He's going
Well, but that's the-
and you're gonna have to put him at what Gilbert Arenas analyzed him as was. If you made him lose that much weight, you'd have to put him at shooting guard.
Ooh.
No, but he could be a small forward though. That's
He's still
another.
too short because he's shorter than
6'6".
RJ. I mean, yeah,
He's
you're right.
6'6".
Yeah, you're
6'6",
right.
he could guard.
Yeah, and
At that
RJ
point, he
6'7".
may be able to defend better. He may be able to move laterally better. He may be able to actually
Shoot
just
better.
post up better and do more with the ball because he could move faster. So it changes the dynamic of who he could be.
But yeah, that's what I said. You're gonna put him on the wing at that point. He's not gonna be on the block anymore at that point.
That's why I said this example would have been Kevin Love, a guy who lived down low for most of his career with the Wolves, lost a trap load of weight, became more of a wing player with the Cavs. That's your
Kevin
best
Love is not a wing. Kevin Love is a stretch forward.
Yeah,
a stretch for a guy who plays out on the perimeter, or you did with the Cavaliers, a lot more with the Cavaliers than he did with the Wolves.
Well, yeah, but he had to
on
because
that.
he was playing with LeBron. But he had to because he was playing with LeBron and Kyrie, so he had to get out the way.
Yo,
He's 7 feet. Too.
Right, but it's going to be the same. Most likely going to be the same thing. Or put it like this: if Kevin Love lost weight, that crap load amount of weight with the Wolves, he probably would have. Because I'm not a doctor. I don't know how his bone structure is. I don't know if he would have had the same strength. But we're all assuming that Zion probably not going to have the same strength down low if he loses all that weight. So he's probably going to have to do what? Be more of a stretch four, play more on the outside. Probably not even be a four at all. Right, 6'6". Right,
Yeah,
so
he's gonna be a
gonna
wing player at that point.
He's going to become. Probably have to be like a Kevin Love. He's already a decent enough facilitator, could push the ball, has court vision. So his next step after losing all that weight will be to what? To be able to shoot. He's not going to be able to live down low as a 6'6" player at 2'4" if he loses that strength.
He wouldn't lose that amount of weight, but he's scoring 27 points at this weight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you want to change that, really.
Well, it's for his health, right?
Giving up 20 on the
Yeah.
other side. So.
Maybe not 50. 50 is extreme. You talking about maybe 30, 25?
I think 30, 40 is about that max that you want him to lose weight because he could still, like, LeBron is a force at 240, 250, right?
That's LeBron.
No, LeBron
30 or 40 if there's fat on the guy. There's no fat on him like that.
LeBron at one point said he playing at 270.
And he's 6'8", right?
Like, but he didn't tell you that.
But
he
look
said
at
it.
LeBron has help.
Zion at the same weight.
Yeah, LeBron
is
the body's different.
Zion at the same weight could do a lot of the same things as LeBron. Like, it's not any different. It's 2 inches less. And then you're talking about he has the speed and he could jump. You're talking about someone that could already handle the ball. It's so much more that expands the game. If he loses weight, that saves his knees.
Yep.
It's a big difference. Like, I still feel like he can post up people at that size,
Absolutely.
especially with the right matchup. It's just he won't be able to post up like Rudy Gobert at 240. He still could dunk on Rudy Gobert. He probably will dunk on him even more at that size. At that size.
Yeah, you probably get better lift.
Exactly.
I don't want him. That's it. I don't want him.
Eric, the only thing is like you're talking. I say it's better to look at it 8 years into his career rather than now because that's dumb. Like we don't have to trade
if
for
he
him.
hasn't got, but Nick, for me, I understand what you're saying. If he's healthy for the next 8 years, and then in the 8th year, I'm really scared.
Let
He
me
hasn't
ask
gotten hurt yet.
Stephen Fox. You
You
had some
can't live.
hesitation.
You can't live with like you can't go into that. Like you have to. You just have to take it at that point.
Well, the reality is that I don't expect him to not be here. He's going to be hurt.
Hold on, let me get to Stephen Fox. Let me get to Stephen Fox. Stephen Fox, you had some hesitation, man. You haven't spoken in a while, man. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on Zion?
I think saying 40, 50 pounds is crazy. 40, 50 pounds is for a fat person. A fat person loses that. Zion's not fat. So
yeah, but it wasn't a serious statement.
Hold on.
No, all right, that's cool. I'm just saying I could just see him losing 20 some odd pounds, and hopefully, because I think it'll elongate his career. Hey, he's a special talent, but he's one dimensional, and as long as that fits is complementary for a team, no defense, no three, he's great at what he does, but I don't know for us. So,
I got a question.
Go ahead. Oh wait, go ahead, Ron. Hinton, go ahead, Ron.
I think Hinton was ahead of me. Go ahead, bro.
No, go first, because mine's gonna be like off the subject in a way.
Okay, mine is too. It's related, but not quite off the subject. So, I don't know. A part of me is wondering, right? Like, based on what we're seeing with Randle, based on what we're seeing with what we've seen with the Joker, right, and the way that Stan Van Gundy is actually molding. See, Hinton is on the same page, brother. Is molding Zion, right? Are we seeing the beginning phases of the next evolution of positionless basketball at this point, where like guys or teams are seeking to make their bigs more in the mold of a LeBron and make that the norm in this next evolution of basketball? Is that where we are currently?
Is it actually?
And if that's the case, do we build out our team in the way that Denver has built out their team?
Well, I'm not sure if it's necessarily evolution, because if you think about it, I wish Coach Colorblocks was here. It's actually the fact that a lot of these kids are coming in the league very lacking skill.
Especially at the point guard position. That's why there's nobody. It's a AAU high school one and done. It's a graduate school talent to be a point guard, and these kids are coming in. That's why, like you said, the evolution is going to, whether it's a 3 or a 4 or a 5. That's not, Jokic, meaning that are doing more of the distribution. So yeah, that evolution's already started.
I'm not sure. That's not really evolution. It's the fact that these guys aren't skilled. It's the fact that AAU basketball is trash. The high school basketball circuits are trash. College basketball, people aren't staying in. You just talked about this regarding the G League. Ben Simmons is not, granted, he can play point. I'm not saying that what he is now, he's an awful point guard. Let's be honest. He's really a wing that should be shooting or should be able to shoot. And he can't, but they cater to his, obviously he has great natural ability, and he's a point guard per se. Now, Jokic is a little bit different, but there have been Jokic's before. Arvydas Sabonis, granted, he came to NBA way too late. Yeah, but they've had guys like him.
But I'm talking about it being the norm, right? Like, I think the evolution to me is like Arvydas was the exception to the rule, right? During his era. In his era, Arvydas Sabonis was the exception to the rule as a big man being able to pass the way in which he passed. Like, what we're seeing now is a renaissance in that like, a lot of these guys that are big men, like they're almost being pattern to do that. Like even when Fizdale for all his faults, like that was what he wanted. Like we ran that as the play style. Tibbs came in and is running that as the play style. Like in many ways, Zion is being molded for that to be run as the play style. Right? Is that the question? Is that where we're going? And secondly, if that's the case, the team that has done it the best in this era to me is Denver. And do we mold our team in that way? And do we build out our team in that way?
You mold your team to your best play or to the system that suits your best roster. Player, right? So I think with Randle, it's nice to say it now, but also let's realize this. I know this GI's guy. We're playing with Alfred Payton. If you put a better point guard around Randle probably doesn't have the ball in his hands as much. He's probably even more impactful, right? Less double teams that he doesn't pass out. I know he's doing better double teams this year, but again, we don't have that so-called wing. Even though Bullock has done an admirable job. Let's be honest. If you got a Levine, you're taking Levine over Bullock any day of the week. If you had a legit point guard, you're probably taking even
a point guard who could shoot.
You're probably taking a Jared Butler right now over Payton, right? And that changes the landscape. That changes how you play with Randle. Randle has been doing great, but I wouldn't compare Randle to say Jokic. Jokic is Jokic. You know what I mean? Only thing Randle probably has better defense, but Jokic he's been doing it for a few years. He's he's just a naturally talented player who could score anywhere on the court for the most part. And he can facilitate anywhere on the court without having to be in the post. And his court vision is a lot better than Randle. So I can't even compare Randle and Jokic in that regard. But sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk. My bad, guys. Please go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think you spent some factual statements.
Yeah, because the thing I'm thinking about is, right, we've been clamoring for a point guard this entire season.
GI.
Right?
I'm waiting.
No, hold on, guys. Let Ron go.
I'm saying, like, we've been clamoring for a point guard this entire season, right? To utilize the resources that we have in that respect. And there are guys that are available that are more serviceable. I'm not going to say that they're all-stars, that are more serviceable than the gentlemen that are on our roster.
Yeah.
Right? And so from that perspective, if you're seeking to build this team out in such a way where Randle, as the most talented player, is going to be your playmaker, right? Why end this experiment now? Why is that not the thing that you do long term?
Because your experiment's not capped out. Like Elfrid Payne he's not the holy grail of what you want a point guard. Like we right now we're overachieving. Think about this.
That's the antithesis of what I'm saying, right? Like, do you go into free agency and say
nothing to do about Elfrid Payne?
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Right? Do I want to get a point guard in free agency, or do I want to rock and say, to the point that you made earlier, I want better shooters, right? Like, do you continue to build it that way? You say, you know what? I want a point guard to go along with Randle, right? Look, what's the next? How does this team continue to get built up?
Go, G. My bad.
So I said basically what you said, but obviously you said it more eloquently than I could have. But the thing is this. What's wrong?
Go ahead, G. He does it. Go ahead, G. He likes to
be out of jail.
So the thing is this. We have a system of basketball that works with Randle leading the charge. He has plays he sets up for RJ. He got plays he sets up for Bullock. And they even all kick it out to Peyton at some point. He gets out the way. We don't need a point guard per se that helps run the offense better. We need players that when Randle comes down and kicks it to them and creates movement in the flow of the game, that they can do something with the ball. That's the type of players you need, off-ball players.
Make a shot.
And if we can get those.
Yeah, but G, look at what we have with Elfrid Payne, right? We have a guy who's literally only playing to take away minutes from Derrick Rose, right? And we start up a lot of games very slow, where Payne can only get it to Randle because his court awareness is Garbaggio. Like, y'all can't sit here and tell me that.
But one thing you said is not fair, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm shutting up.
You're good.
But it's not fair to say that Elf P is taking away minutes from Rose that Rose can't handle.
No. I'm saying
he's the stopgap, is what he's saying.
Yeah, he's keeping Rose fresh. Like, the more minutes that Elfrid Payne can play without being a minus, the better Derrick Rose would be coming off the bench. That's what I meant to say. So I go worded it wrongly. I apologize. But y'all, if we had a CP3 type point guard, I put money in. Randle would probably be even more impactful. Now, maybe less assist, but he'd probably be even more dangerous on the court. He's a big-ass chess piece. He's like a big-ass queen chess piece on the board. If you had a point guard who could facilitate, shoot, set up the offense. Because there's many times Julius Randle
would make everyone better. I said he would make everyone better because he can like Randle averages a decent amount of assists, but he doesn't really have the best court vision. And when you have someone like CP3, like, he can find those guys. He doesn't over dribble that much. When he sees someone's open, he passes. And he's also good in the clutch. He can be a closer in a way too and set other people up. He's not selfish.
CP3, yeah. CP3. Even though I will say this in the clutch, he always finds a way to injure himself or make a weird pass that just doesn't make any sense, man. He is the bro. I still remember Game 6. He scored 38 points
against the Clippers all the time.
They should have beat the Warriors, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Man. The Rockets should have beat the Warriors that year. But guys, let me get to two more things. We're out of here. I want to get to. I don't want to smile because I feel dirty doing this now. KP injured himself yesterday. Not happy for that at all. I'm not. No. I'm not talking about that. But your boy Mark Cuban came out. and talked about the KP Luka situation. I thought they were going to be Steven Nash and Nowitzki, but now Mark Cuban is sitting here talking about
Jason Terry and Dirk.
Talking about their chemistry. He said that they had a dust-up relationship. He said coach and Coach Rick Carlisle kind of runs the show. So everything gets worked out on the court, but KP and Luka get along fine. It's just that they're different people. They like to do different things. He said he compared them to Jason Terry and Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
How those guys weren't the best of friends at first. He said I compared to Jet and Dirk. Those two weren't the best of friends at the beginning, but they grew to like each other and grew to be great friends. And that's just part of the process when you got young kids who are growing up. It took forever for Dirk and Jet Jet did anything off the court together a long time. And they said currently the difference of the court has been affecting the team, blah, blah. But it's just weird that, first of all, Mark Cuban needs to shut up.
Right.
Totally.
You got to shut up. You're not running the team.
You can't be saying those types of things when you're the owner.
You're doing a chatty patty, and that's stuff. There's no reason. Now there were comments, or there was talk about them trying to get rid of KP after he hurt himself. I believe in January. Oh, sorry, in February. Excuse me, in February. But it's like, dogs, you're not a part of the team, and you're making it worse. Whatever happens, why is it that him, David? Why do you guys want to bring up the crap that's happening behind closed? You're supposed to keep that tight knit, so guys
can kill a locker room quick.
Listen, the fan base is salty. Their fan base don't really rock with KP. Like, I listen to some of the Dallas radio sports talk folks because it's interesting to me, right? Like, just because of the fact that like when we play them, right, and especially last season when we were playing them and we won, right? It was, to me, interesting how the mainstream sports media, without calling them by name, whoever they are, right? There wasn't a whole lot of fodder over us beating them, right, after the trade. So I was like, let me take a look and see what's going on in terms of how the people in Dallas actually perceive them. They are unhappy with the fact that he is unable to stay on the court for extensive periods of time. They are incredibly unhappy. And so it's one of those things where, like, you go in forums and chat rooms and you listen to their radio people, they're disgruntled. And so he's doing something to try to make sure that he's quelling it. But as we already know, the more you talk about a thing, the best thing, the more problems it creates. The best thing for you to do is just be quiet.
Now they were trying to trade him, or there were talks about trying to trade him, but doesn't that hurt your trade value? If you have a guy who gets hurt all the time, and it seems like, I guess they're all team Luka since that's their prized possession. Why would you ruin any value or anything, or the perception that KP is a good player in the lot? Why would you ruin that by coming out and like? Rick Carlisle is not a guy who talks. Like, you see him on the podium, he has that face where one eyebrow's up. It's just like, why am I here?
Like Jim Carrey.
When the hell would Mark Cuban just shut the F up? Like, why are you bringing that out about KP and Luka? And by the way, I wish Who's Mark. I think it's still in there. Who's Mark? I'm just saying, all that stuff you're talking about, man. KP was trying to get Luka here. That his brother's trying to get Luka here. That we messed it up on that stuff. Seems like they don't really vibe and gel with each other. All that stuff about those two's going to win a championship for the Knicks. They're what, in 8th place, 7th place right now?
Hey, yeah, they were in 7th. Can we agree that Phil Jackson was right?
Well, the way he went about it was terrible, but he was right.
Yeah. Could have got more for him at the right time, though.
Could have got him Booker or Jaylen Brown.
He got fired for trying to trade him.
Hold up, you guys are missing out who the big hero is. I know you guys are going to kill me.
Steve Mills. Yep.
Yeah, Steve
Mills. Listen, I'm on the Steve Mills vindication.
Oh.
I'm trying to lead this tour right now.
Is Steve Mills a tragic hero?
Yes.
Was he a sacrificial limb to get us to where we are now?
Yes.
Oh my Lord, this is terrible. I want to throw up.
Mark that. I've been in the chat saying this for a minute.
Oh my Lord.
And we had this. Legion. We had this conversation, and you hit me with the broke clock is wrong twice type deal, right? Listen, he signed Randle for 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yeah,
he did. He also wanted Terry Rozier.
Look at Terry. Look at Scary Terry right now.
Keep going.
Right? Come on, man.
KP.
He wanted to keep Mook.
He wanted to keep. Listen, and his one.
Yeah, but you got and the Mook deal would have a big Mook deal would have been, because remember he got spurt because stupid Rich Paul rejected that $45 3-year deal he got from the Clippers to help LeBron, which is dirty as hell. So he's going to get.
But he
wanted
still
to
got
get
him more money though. He still got him more money though on the back end.
More money.
Listen, I'm on the Steve Mills vindication tour. The one mistake he made, right? The two, I take that back. 2 mistakes he made was giving Tim Hardaway Jr. that fat contract early on, right?
4 years, 75.
Right? With the trade kicker, no doubt, because that was the other part of the problem with respect to that contract. And then the other part was like sipping the Fizdale juice, because everybody. But here's the thing: everybody was sipping it. Everybody was sipping.
Oh, was it? Hell no! I did not know.
Oh, I mean,
not like
you're the exception.
I did not want Fizdale. First year I gave him, I thought he was Garbaggio to the fullest. I wanted.
No, I mean, like prior to the signing. Not after.
Trash, man.
You know what I mean? But like he was able to have somewhat of a measure of success in Memphis. As far as the team go, but it was a ready-made team.
Yeah. The only thing I'll give him credit for was him trying to get Gasol to expand his game a year too early before Gasol realized like he ain't Gasol of the mid 2000s anymore, and he became a space shooter, which he went on to do. So I give him physical credit for that. But let me ask you this: since you're on a apology tour, I can't ask that. Would you
an apology tour, vindication tour, brother?
Vindication tour, but you wouldn't want him back in any capacity, right? Any basketball capacity, correct?
Would I want him back? Nah, I don't think he's the guy. But I do think the moves that he made, like, I think they were the right moves.
It had to have been Perry. I'm sorry. I got to give credit. I don't see Steve Mills.
Come on, man.
I can't imagine Steve Mills in a meeting like, yo, I scouted such pick caliber.
I agree with you.
Who hired Perry?
Yeah, but that's different.
Hiring and knowing the players are two different things.
But he hired the guy. Listen, you can't have don't do that.
But doesn't have the eye of talent like a Perry does.
But that's why he hired Perry. Listen, you know what it is. Like if you are the person, right? If you are the person, listen. Again, listen. I'm still.
I can't.
No, listen, if you run a business, right, you are not going to be a master of all trades. You hire somebody that is supposed to sit in a place that attends to your flaws. That's what you do.
So we giving Steve Mills props for hiring Perry. That's what we.
And everything that came after that, because everything that this team is.
Well, you still gotta give him credit for Julius.
Come on.
Like you gotta give him credit for Julius.
You give him but it took another regime to unlock.
Thank you.
And part of that signing was pressure because we missed that on Kyrie and KD.
Thank you.
But guess what? But here's the other thing. But they had a plan even after that. That thing turned. Let's not act like when that whole thing flopped, that all those other guys weren't signed the next day.
But here's the thing, though. You got Julius Randle. He didn't have the foresight to say, "Let me get a coach who can actually coach up Julius Randle." This is it's the same regime that, like, this makes me want to throw.
I can't agree with that, Ron.
I'm sorry. The Randle thing was it was the circumstance that they were in. They had to get a guy Randle because they missed out. Mm-hmm. Well, the whole not missed out.
Mud on their face.
The Kyrie thing fell apart, or basically was never going to happen, especially after Kyrie got hurt. The KP thing, now granted, we can sit and talk, but again, they didn't survey the field because it seems like there were rumors that they could have got more for KP, even injured KP, and they didn't. Right? Like, I'm good with Steve Mills.
Imagine what we could have got from the Spurs.
Again, I'm still on the tour. Even with that, right? You make the best of a bad situation. Where else in the world? I hated KP going to Dallas, right? There's one place you would have figured that if KP was going to be successful anywhere, right, you would figure it would be Dallas. And you try to create a situation that's amenable to both. You do what's best for your team, right? You should. But you try to do something that's amenable to both the player and while improving your team.
Let me ask about KP. Let me ask before we go. What the hell is so, like, KP? Pablo Prigioni won more playoff games than KP. KP is a guy who said, "I'm anemic. I get tired at the second half of seasons." We never had a 500 record with KP. A lot of his game, I'm sorry, when you have guys like Max Kellerman who are goosing up KP like he's a second coming, and even his own colleagues gotta be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" When he said the top 5 players in the league at the time, he tried to say KP. I forgot who checked him. Was like, "No, it's not. KP's not the top 5 player in the league." And this was, I think, after he got traded to Dallas. Like, he had a gruesome injury that's not good for his body type. Yeah, I mean, now granted, you can sit and say you got more for KP, but we didn't really miss out that much. Like KP, I'm sorry, a lot of his.
Gmo, can I ask you a question?
It was hype.
I got a question for you, Gmo.
Go ahead, man.
When Chuck B was on the panel earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that Mitch was overrated, right? And you shut that down.
No, Chuck is trying to downplay the value of Mitch because I always say.
But that's what I'm saying about KP. It's the same thing. It is almost the same thing.
But no one praises Mitch as if he's the second. When he said people compare Mitch to Giannis, it's never happened on my show.
No. That's not.
Well, Mitch is guaranteed 1.8. Mitch is guaranteed 1.8 million, and Porzingis is guaranteed 102 million.
Yeah, he's getting 20 million. Two different things. But all I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that the argument that Mitch and KP are both, overrated for this team. You understand what I'm saying? So are we going to be okay losing Mitch? And it looks like we're going to be okay losing Mitch right now.
I think
we're okay with losing
now
KP.
Or next year. That's why they signed Pell.
KP was different expectations, right? KP was seen as a superstar to carry the Knicks, and in not one year that he played, did the Knicks have a ridiculous. When he went down with that injury, the ACL, whatever, we were 6 games below 500.
Yeah, but and that's what I'm saying. We've never won with Mitch.
Fair enough, but the thing about Mitch was a second-round pick that people were surprised that he was that good of a talent. Now, we sit here and we nitpick at Mitch. Let's be honest, Mitch has overachieved according to his draft status.
Totally.
KP, when you look at it impact-wise, it's like...
The only reason why you could say Mitch overachieved because of his draft status is because he didn't play in college basketball that year. Because if he would have played, he'd have been a lottery pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And the fact of the matter is he missed out on some development and a lot more. And another thing, maturity. And he still was able to outplay his draft position from the second round. He probably outplayed some late first rounders that year.
You really think he would have been a lottery pick?
Yeah, he was a lottery pick. Yeah. He was.
Yeah, because he was guaranteed to go in the first round to the Lakers.
Yeah, it was the Knox draft.
Like he was going to go to the...
Sorry, Hunter. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, remember, he had a Lakers guarantee in the first round. Remember?
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that during the draft.
So that didn't happen. So he was going to be a first round pick, and obviously if he paid and he was guaranteed a first round pick, he would have been 15 slots higher to be at the end of the lottery if he played. Matter of fact, we probably would have picked him instead of picking Kevin.
I remember the talk last year.
If we repicked it, yeah.
I remember the
talk. You got to think about that.
That's
that Mitchell Robinson was going to be a max player.
Say again, EDG. You kind of far away, bro.
Yeah, you sound like far from your mic.
You hear me?
You hear me better, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I said, I remember Knicks fans on Twitter, on social media, talking about, and not only Knicks fans, media too, saying that is Mitchell Robinson the next max contract player for the Knicks?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Looking at it now, I mean, I can't see it. I'm not saying that he's not valuable, but I can't say that he will ever be a max player.
You're gonna have an issue. You're gonna have an issue next year because you're gonna have to pay Noel some money. Because again, that contract he rejected with the Mavs. I don't care what no one says. You made love playing with the team, but you want that money. You want that security. So, and a guy like Mitch is injury prone. You can't depend on Mitch being. I'm not paying Mitch no man. I don't even think he's expecting max.
Noel is frail.
Yeah,
Noel is frail, but again, you need. I'd rather have you probably.
Meaning to throw big money at those guys, you have to take a set. You have to take a step back.
Availability.
Yeah, as the folks say. But do y'all really think Noel is coming back? This is his last year on this team.
Yeah, only because of the value. We're not going to get him for $5 million again.
Absolutely.
Listen,
I'm going to get him for $8 million a year.
Pennies on the dollar for all these cats. We're going to have some real conversations about how much we're willing to pay these dudes to come back. Because they're going to command more money. We pay pennies on the dollar for Noel.
$5 million for Noel, $5 million for Burks, $4.5 million for Bullock.
Yeah, listen, Bullock had the spinal surgery, and we did him a favor. We did him a solid at the time, and he's getting paid a lot less than what he's producing currently. Everybody was on a
shooting 41% from three.
Exactly. So you bring all. You can't keep all these pieces and responsibly manage your cap, given what they're going to command on the open market.
But remember, though, we still have $50 million in cap space going into next year. Yeah. So we actually do have the space to actually bring everybody back and pay them at a price that we feel like paying them. And remember, with Bullock we cut his price in half because of his back surgery. So we definitely got to pay him more. So.
Yeah, but the question is, how do you improve this roster, right?
Well, that's the question in free agency because the free agency is weak this year. Free agency is weak for the next 2 years, so I don't know how we're going to do that.
But it's not just about free agency, right? Because we have assets in the way of cap space. Signing trades are a possibility in terms of improving this team. You can draft guys and then actually trade, have a draft night trade, and all of that still eats into the cap. And so there are guys that you have to consider whether or not you bring them back.
One at a time, guys. One at a time, please.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, everybody's not coming. And so the question is,
I wouldn't expect everybody to come back.
The question is,
but I get what you're saying.
I think to me, the Pell signing it says something about that to some extent. If you gave him
it's an insurance policy.
Yeah, but I think there's something to it, right? Like Mitch gets paid $1 million. I can continue to build up my roster, let Noel go somewhere else, right? And get the same production that I got from Noel, more or less, from Mitch at $1 million, and then continue to improve my roster in other ways.
You're also a lot of your defense. Contrary to what Chuck says, your defense to help and protecting that paint account. Like you need a center who does actually have some talent defensively, and it's not. I know
money. I don't mean to cut you up, but I think Pell is not even guaranteed for next year. So I don't even know if he's going to be back next year. Even though it's a multiple deal, you got to read it because I don't even think it's guaranteed like that. I think he'll get like $500,000.
Yeah, it's probably a team deal, right? It's probably the team has the option of keeping him or letting him go based on how he performs. But if he outperforms expectations, you let Noel go, you bring Mitch back, and then this team has a problem with respect to scoring. This team is devoid of scoring. So do you bring Noel back on a team that's devoid of scoring when you can apply that salary to a guy that can help you on both ends of the floor and not just on one end?
Well, here's also a thing too. You have to
get the scoring from another position,
right? And also,
it's also the scheme,
right? And also, thing with Noel, I know this might sound crazy, but the more Noel is out there to play defensively, the more you can hide Randle because again, you're talking about a guy who you have to sign, or you that's your franchise guy, right? And you have to keep him healthy. You have him pick up some of the defensive slack. That'll be off if Noel's not there, and then Mitch is injury prone. It might be close for injury. That's what I'm saying. I agree. I'm not sure you pay Noel crazy money, but if you look at Mitch, a guy who every year he's having several injuries, and he's having some bad injuries that might sap his athleticism.
Ankle.
Foot, ankle, and you could just make a rap song to like it's his history is terrible. So, and by the way, Mark, I would love for you if you want to put up money as to what the Knicks record was when KP got injured. Let me help you out, bro.
They were like 8 or 9 years under.
The Knicks were 23-32 on February. I can't see. Was it February 7th? I'm about to share the screen, so please don't ever try. I don't lie on my hey. All I got is my
Are
word.
You guys maxing Randle?
Great question, Hadouken.
Randle?
The sad thing about this injury is that this is when Porzingis dunked on him that he got injured on Giannis. That's the crazy. I used to love watching them play against each other. That was like a matchup I looked forward to.
What does that say, Mark? That's 23-32. We were not 5 games above 500. So please don't try to make that up, bro. Please don't try to make that up.
Yeah, we were not 5 games above 500.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah, I thought we were a few games below, though. I thought it was like 4 or 5.
No. So KP's impact, again, media hype. I don't remember freaking talk about the media and how now everybody, oh my gosh, Randall's an MVP. I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus Christ.
He should get some votes. He's not the MVP.
The media is probably going to get. But let me ask you guys one last thing, man.
Are we maxing?
He's gonna get MIP. He should. He's well in the lead right now according to Vegas. Yeah. He's gonna get MIP, but MVP, no. We're not at that level yet.
But just the consideration's an honor.
He's not gonna get MVP, but he will be MVP.
He'll be in the top 5.
Correct, and that's an honor. That's unbelievable.
And he's deserving.
Donovan Mitchell, Jokic,
Chris Paul,
he'll be up there.
Chris Paul.
That is a legit pick. Well, Embiid gets injured too. He's been uber stupid this year. He's averaging 30 this year, but the injuries and all that jazz.
But he missed 18 games.
Right. So it might be CP3.
My MVP is Chris Paul. My MVP is Chris Paul this year.
I know, but the MVP is gonna be Jokic.
I love my hit.
Yeah, I know.
Donovan Mitchell too, man.
And he deserves it.
I don't know about that. I think Chris Paul deserves it more than him. He got his team higher than
MVP. What I'm
Jokic.
saying is, I agree with when I think MVP. I think valuable to your team. I know that. But what happened is it's the league's best player that year. Like, that's just how it is.
Best player on the best team typically.
All right, so wouldn't that be Chris Paul? The Phoenix Suns are the number two in the West. Denver's number 4 in the West. You didn't expect this from Phoenix this year, did you?
Denver was them being the 8th best offense and the 6th best defense.
Also, think about this. You guys are underestimating one thing. It's not about logic. All you guys saying is logical. We have to think about who the writers are.
Politics.
I mean, a year when Westbrook, because of the so-called triple doubles, and he doesn't win the next year, even though he averaged a triple double, it was like, well, you gave it to him because.
All right. So I'm gonna add on to that. They don't think like men then, because men think logically.
Oh Lord, where is this going? You know, Buchanan. I ain't saying nothing, man.
I'm just keeping it. I'm keeping it buck.
Hey, all I'll say is Maria Taylor did not vote 80 on any of the 3 NBA teams. It ain't no gender thing. I think is that she got overwhelmed. That was her first year doing it, and she was also an ESPN analyst and stuff. I think she just got overwhelmed. But again, you're talking about writers who Rachel Nichols. Come on. You're talking about people who they're not thinking. They think about storyline. So that's why I'm saying Jokic, because again, you have to think about this international. You're talking about a guy. The Jamal Murray thing might be a smaller factor, but
I'm still talking about the lows. I'm still talking about the lows and the wind horses and all them too. You know what I'm saying?
What did Brian Windhorst say? He said LeBron James is. This was a few weeks ago, right? He said LeBron James is still the front runner, and this is when he was injured.
Like I said, men think logically.
Hey, Brian Windhorst. Hey, man, I think he's LeBron riders. Like, bro, how did you say LeBron?
Randall's not top 5, but he could be top 10. I would say.
He could Randall could be top 5. Okay, think about it. What the top 5? Say the top. Hold on, Duke, say your top 5, bro.
You would have to have Jokic, Embiid,
Echo,
Donovan Mitchell. I would put CP3 in there too, because without CP3, that team was trash.
Okay.
So,
no, late in the bubble, they caught.
Yeah, but I mean, I know about that, but still, they were still not that good. They were a 10 seed.
I mean, they did go 8-0 in the.
Yeah, I think they were sending. I think Monty Williams has a big part to do with that team. CP3 is an absolute beast. He's my favorite point guard, but I think Monty Williams had that team right.
I wish we had CP3.
So who's your 5th then? You see. I think Randall might be there, bro.
Yeah, when I say top 10, I wouldn't put him at the end of that. I would put him somewhere like at 6 or something. But I have to think now.
See, but that's the thing. So then just put him at the 5. If you can't think of anybody else,
I think he can jump to. I think he could be top 5, like in general, though. Like by the end of the season, I think he will be top 5.
No, he's top 5 now.
Yes, agreed. To Eric's point that was made earlier in terms of like, granted, we're the 4th place team, right? And without Randall's contribution, where do you put the Knicks? Like, he's the most valuable player to any one team, right? In the NBA, the problem is that we haven't won enough and for a longer period of time. And he hasn't done it long enough to have the cachet to get those votes, right? To be the winner. But he deserves votes given what he's been able to accomplish with his team this year.
I think he definitely should be top 5.
Yeah, he is top 5.
When you talk about impact on the team, I'm giving Randall his flowers. He's been an impactful player in all facets of the offense for this team. He basically is the offense. Is just the record, right? And the fact that we're the Knicks, so you're gonna have writers who just don't see us in that light. And I think that Jokic's been talked about before. You got people like idiots like Brian Windhorst who still want to vote LeBron James, even though when he said that LeBron James was freaking injured. And again, storylines. So. And I know Hinton talked about, he talked about LeBron James and a magical run of the Lakers this year. Hey, I don't say I'm not saying Hinton ain't wrong. I can see that happening. So hey.
Wait, what did he say?
Don't worry about it. Here's breaking down some metaphysical stuff regarding
LeBron. We'll talk about it in June.
We'll talk about it in June. Yeah. Chill out, man. But last thing, guys, when we got the Raptors tomorrow, I believe Boucher, excuse me.
He tore something.
He tore something. He's out.
It was an MCL, I think.
MCL.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
But you still got Gary Trent. You got Kyle Lowry. You got Pascal. And this is a team now. Last time Gary Trent was absolute garbaggio. They made a run on us, and I'll say again, Malachi Flynn missed some open shots, and that's when the Knicks started
played good against us.
Second half he did. First half he played terrible. He
first half was
had like 3 air balls. So guys, give me some color on the game tomorrow. I know everybody's excited because it's a 1 p.m. game. I'll be covering that. But give me some color, man. How do we attack the Raptors? Please don't tell me it's going to be as easy as last. I just don't like.
No, it's not. The thing that concerns me. We have 12 to go.
They're going to be okay. They're going to be relatively healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to miss Boucher, but for the most part, they're going to have.
Nah, you wild, Eric G, for that.
Go ahead, Steven. Go ahead.
I think he's lagging. That's why.
Yeah, he is.
He might be delayed.
Wait, who?
Oh, someone talking. I'm sorry.
Because Foxy was just talking and he was.
Oh yeah.
I apologize. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he's just a little bit lag. He's not doing.
Yeah, I know that's.
Go ahead, Stephen Fox. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that we have 12 games to go, and the thing that the stat that bothers me is that I'm really hoping for Atlanta to play well and that we play them in the playoffs because we're 20-10 at home, 13-7 away. But the big stat that bothers me is we're 2-8 in the division this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Philly, Brooklyn, Boston, and Toronto. We play Toronto tomorrow, and hopefully we're going to beat them. But if we play any of those other teams, we have not matched up well in our division. So that's why I'm hoping that we do play Atlanta or we play somebody else other than within our division. So
we don't match up with teams. I guess. Well, again, and I'll say to Chuck B's point, we got lucky with some teams that have closers. We've struggled with, especially on the East. We talk about the Heat and all that stuff, but second game we played against them, Tyler Hero hit big shots. Butler hit some big, not Butler. Bam hit some big shots down the line. Third game we got mollywop. Celtics had closers. They were able to rest their guys while we still had to go out there and play Julius and RJ, bracket them for basically the whole game. We did that the same way yesterday. So I just like when we sit there and we say, well, the Celtics, they're in this place. Look, if we match it with some of these teams that have talent and they also have playoff pedigree, we don't have that.
Thank you.
So let's stop overestimating what we are. And Ron, I'm not saying don't enjoy the ride, but we disrespect a lot of teams just because we're in fourth place and we're golden right now. The same teams you're talking about, the Heat, we have not beat them once. Brooklyn Nets, they've had mismatches of who guys are missing. One day it's only KD, one day it's only Kyrie, one day it's Harden, and we still couldn't beat them. I know we're not talking issue about. I've seen some people say, "Oh, we're gonna beat the Nets." Now I want to play Nets because I just hate the Brooklyn Nets. It's gonna be fun to see the battles, but I'm not saying that we're gonna mollywop them. Like, yes,
I don't want that smoke.
You saw what KD said about it?
Yeah, we're not going to mollywop anybody, but I think the thing to take into consideration is we're not the same team we were at the beginning of the season. Right?
I don't want no division smoke.
That's my hit. We think like
no division.
Listen,
smoke.
my thing is like we've taken steps.
Too.
In addition to that, like you look at that Memphis game, right? Prior to that game, anytime we had a close matchup, we would get to the finish line and then fall. Right? Like once we got to that Memphis game, for whatever the reason being, we were able to get over the finish line. And
Memphis screwed up that game.
Yeah, I mean, be that as
that game,
right? Because
they took the foot off the pedal.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't want to keep like that's the stuff I'm talking about. We get to this point where we're like, but the other team lost it, and that's how we won.
No. It's just that when you hear other people just sit here and it's like when they talk about we're gonna beat this team, even the Raptors game. Go back to the Raptors game. People talk, we're gonna mollywop them. We were down late. Malachi Flynn missed 2. He was hot the whole game when he came in from outside. He missed 2 big shots and we went on a run. A lot of teams that we say here, we call ourselves a cardiac kids, right? We got that from the Browns. The Browns lost to the Denver Broncos. Remember what's the name dropped the ball? I forgot the running back's name. Like we say anything, we get that every fourth quarter we're gonna go in there and we're gonna beat them. We're doing this with teams that we're sitting here saying we're gonna beat them from the beginning, and we're struggling with some of these teams to start off with. Yeah, we're very fortunate to go on this run where our defense has come alive. But again, sometimes that luck runs out. And again, we're still struggling with some of these teams that we talk about. We should be mollywopping. So I'm saying when you look at the Raptors team, Gary Trent's a really good player. We've had issues with him before. In that second half, we couldn't touch him. We couldn't hold him. We've had issues with Kyle Lowry. We had issues with Pascal, and we actually done decently against him. But I'm just saying, when we look at some of these, even our division guys, some of these guys want to play up against us. And again, they're fighting for a 10 spot. So I'm not looking at this game like a cat, like we're going to beat them, whatever. I look at every game cautiously. Let's look at it and think that we're below these teams to say, like, look, we should not be thinking we're better. the Wolves team. Everybody else was like, yo, we about to mollywop this team, blah, blah, and look what happened.
Agreed. But here's the thing I'm saying. If you look at those games, right, you don't win a stretch of 8 games in a row, right? And without having had better execution than we had prior to the Memphis game, where we lost to Minnesota, right? Where we didn't seize opportunities that were in front of us.
We lost 8 games within 5.
You know what I mean? Like, I think those things are significant because those
winning 2 overtime games too.
We would have lost. We could have very well have lost them. And we've won close games in this 8-game stretch, right? We blew leads against. We had a big lead against Brooklyn, right? And then we coughed it up. We had a big lead against Boston, and then we coughed it up. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to be said about how we've coughed up leads in the midst of this run as well. But the difference is, on the other end of the game, there's a W. And so, we can't take. I don't know what the other team is going to do, but the team that I'm rooting for is finding ways to win and take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to them when they actually show up.
So how do we beat the Raptors tomorrow then? How do we make sure we beat the Raptors?
First thing first, we know what it is. It's 48 minutes of defense, right? Like, that tends to be the thing that wavers. That's the first step in wavering in terms of this team, right? The most consistent thing that this team has is defensive prowess. When you look at the game that we played the last go around, 60 points put up in the first half. That's not a formula for winning basketball, right? And for me, that was my concern with respect to that game. We cannot allow teams to put up 30-plus points per quarter and have 60-point halves. So first and foremost, and we've said this over and over again, if we don't play defense, we don't. And the thing that is concerning to me is the turn it on, turn it off mentality of this team, almost a la the Detroit Pistons of the Ben Wallace era, where it's like, we'll turn it on when we want to and we'll make the game real ugly. But, like, no, play 48 minutes of solid basketball, right, from the defensive end, and give yourself the best opportunity to win. I don't think there's a lot of teams that can stay with us in terms of the intensity and the physicality of the game. When you look at all those teams that's in the East, to the point that you made earlier, they're built to run a full 48 in a defensive game.
Well, here, let me say one thing let me say one antithesis to our so-called well, I don't say so-called. We do have a good defense, but one thing I don't like what the Raptors do, they attempt a lot of threes. And they're I think third in the league in 3 points attempted and third in the league in 3 pointers made. I don't like that.
Yeah, but they're not good defensively either on threes. I think they're 25th.
Right. But my point is that I don't like teams that shoot a lot of threes against us. We sell it on the paint defense. Any team that can pick and pop. Now, obviously, don't have Boucher out there, right? But again, they still have a team that, again, the Malachi Finns, they're a team that they're probably looking at. Look, they're going to probably play us in zone, and they're probably going to shoot a lot of threes. And any given night, a team that shoots a lot of threes, attempts a lot of threes, they have a chance against us because our perimeter defense. I know we're so-called number one in the league, but we still allow a lot of threes.
They're a terrible rebounding team. That should help us, though. They're a terrible rebounding team.
This is going to be like the Charlotte game the other day.
Suits his old confidence.
It has a potential
expected to be like that. Expected to be like that.
Yeah. To your point, Gmo, we struggle against teams that play defense and shoot threes well. Fortunately for us, this team is constructed in such a way where it's like, yeah, the shooting may be there, but the defense is not consistent. So long as we do what we need to do from a defensive standpoint, I think the way that we play defense is that team shooting will revert to the mean. If they're shooting hot in the first half, the second half tends to be a very different set of circumstances. Over and over again, we've seen that story play out.
And we seen the other way. The first game against the Raptors, they shot 17% from the field from three in the first half. Second half, they ended the whole game with 35%. So that was when they had Norman Powell, a slightly different team. But again, we've seen it revert the other way. It happened with that game. They had, so we got to be. I'm not trying to say be a Debbie Downer. It's just we. And this thing I'm kind of scared about. It's weird because it's like in football. Football's a little bit different. It's like sometimes your team goes on a winning streak. It's like that one slip up game where it's like. Now granted, we won enough where I feel comfortable we're going to make the playoffs with that stuff, but
we're a ball control offense. We're the ball control offense football team.
Yeah, we are.
Run the ball and play defense.
Yeah,
slow. Yeah, we play. We're the slowest pace. Like that's how we play. We play like New York. I hate the way
must
they
hang
play
out
like
with
those
Bill
giant
Parcells.
teams.
Tibbs hangs out with Bill Parcells.
Yeah, you play like those teams.
Bill Parcells.
Stay close to the vest. I'm gonna call it Mason. It's gonna be a tight game, and we just gonna we gonna play it, and you're gonna make a mistake, and you're gonna lose the game.
Yeah, I'd say one thing about the Knicks defense. I like the fact that we get teams out of, like, we talk about Grizzlies game, and I think that they lost that game, but teams that they're a relatively young team in terms of that team construction, right? Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane, Valanciunas. So they made some, I won't say rookie mistakes, but they made some, this is a young team mistake. And the fact that we have a team that can, like, kind of scare you.
They
right?
got cocky.
Right. And they got cocky, and then when they try to get to Ja Morant to try to draw fouls, just driving straight to the basket, weren't getting those calls anymore. It's like they panicked. And I love the fact that we're making teams panic. Yeah, I mean, granted, the Grizzlies aren't the freaking Nuggets, but again, they're still a solid team talent-wise. I like the fact that Knicks can put the fear of God into players to make them make bad decisions down the stretch. We haven't had that type of team in years. So
teams on both sides of the ball got to play a full 48-minute game. And to the extent that a team doesn't close us out when we've given them an opportunity to close us out, then that means that we have a chance to do what needs to be done, and we've been able to make that happen. And both teams got to play the full 48.
Yeah. And the next 3 out of the 4 are the ones that we want to take, because we're Toronto, Phoenix, which is the tough game, Chicago, and Houston. So I'd love us to go 3 out of 4, because the games after that are brutal.
I would love.
Here's one take I have on that. Go ahead, Lee. I know you're about to talk.
Oh no, I just that Suns game. I think they beat who they just beat. They beat somebody.
They just lost to the Celtics.
They lost to the Celtics.
Oh, the game before that, they beat somebody. We lost. They beat the Sixers, was it?
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
They did. That's the one where Embiid threw the
one that almost went in. Exactly.
116 to 113. Yes, it was. It was that game.
Booker at that corner, and
I think that game against the Suns. I
can't wait for that game.
That could be a
statement game. It's a statement game.
Thank you. That's a game where, granted, we've lost to some of these teams, like we said, but to the Heat are just a team that we just don't match up well. They're just teams that they could be 5-10 games under 500 that we can't beat. We just don't match up well with them. The Suns game, I think it's that the things we talked about, right? The defense maturing, gelling, coalesce at the right time. RJ taking that next step to being the secondary playmaker. Randle being, I don't want to say 30-point a game guy, but sniffing in that area. A guy can hit big shots, find his game within the game where he's not forcing bad shots, picking his spots. He's so by, again, working with, not working with, but learning from Kawhi Leonard, having your guys like Bullock, even IQ. On these past few games, IQ's been fantastic for the Knicks. I know he's still taking some of these awful shots, but the catch and shoots, driving to the basket, where he's taking floaters, I think he's taking that next step up. That's when he's money. I would love for the Knicks to beat this. I would love the Knicks to have even just a close game with the Suns, to put the fear of God. We put the fear of God in the Blazers that game where, Dame Lillard talking trash. Next thing you know, he's on the line trying to talk trash to IQ to take him off his rhythm because IQ brought him back. Now, granted, that was an IQ game, but I want us to have that type of game where it's like the Knicks look good against the Suns. And it's like, even if we lose, let it be we lost by 1, lost by 2, lost by, one of those close games. I think even if we lose, that could be a statement game for the Knicks. So I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to the Raptors game too. I'm not saying any game we should look at.
Can I say something about the Suns? About the Suns, like, everyone is worried about the Suns, and I'm not taking it lightly, but the thing about it is that we haven't played each other at all this year, and their team works differently. Like, you can scout the teams and you could do all that, but when we actually get on the court, it's going to be different to actually play. So that's why I think it's a 50-50.
I also want to see how Tibbs going to adapt to CP3. That's going to be like a chess game by those two, man. Like, and just Monty Williams too.
He's freaking fantastic.
I can't wait to see Devin. Devin Booker's my guy. So
and Devin Booker last time killed us. He murdered us.
Devin Booker's my guy.
Oh, Devin Booker was excellent, man.
And RJ is gonna need to go through Mikal Bridges too, and that's gonna be a tough matchup.
Do you think Knox is gonna play Mikal? Do you think Knox might play against Mikal Bridges?
No.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 1-on-1 underneath his garden.
My heart fell out my chest knowing that we had the opportunity at both.
I wanted Mikal Bridges from Villanova. I
should have gotten Shea Gilgeous. He wanted to come here.
I thought Bridges was the guy that we would have, man.
Yep. Yep.
Here's the question that I had.
C-Mac, what are you talking about, C-Mac? You said Devin Booker. Come on, stop.
Nah, he just played. You know, he trolling. You know,
Yeah.
C-Mac got to
He has to be trolling to say something that crazy.
C-Mac is that guy.
got to troll.
C-Mac is hilarious.
Yeah, he is hilarious.
Go
But
ahead, Ron.
I was like, we're making a lot of this schedule right down the end with respect to like the difficulty of the schedule. What are the odds we get there and it's a dud because all these teams, or like maybe like majority, not all of them, but a majority of these teams say, you know what, we're resting our guys.
I thought about that for the Clippers.
Then
And
put
I
it
thought
like
about
this. You know
that.
what you do? Oh, go.
But then I would say I wouldn't think so, at least in the Lakers and the Clippers situation, because of what they're playing for. Like, but everybody else up in the air. But I would expect the Lakers and the Clippers to be full go.
And even if we go on a nice run at the end, I don't want Knicks fans to think that like we're going to the Eastern Conference final. Like I want us to have there has to be context when we talk about these wins. Because if guys are resting, we're not playing guys at their fullest or their best. Obviously, like I just don't want the expectations to jump up just because our record was way better than what we expected coming into this, before say the second half started. Like we gotta.
And as you said, this is all part of the development process for the kids.
But I will say this.
Yeah.
I will add this. I will add this caveat though. We played the Celtics on the last day of the season. That game is important to me, especially because
momentum.
That's going to change my thoughts if we win that game and we wind up staying fourth, because we're basically going to be ahead of them and we're going to have home court. So expectations are going to change at that point. So, because the season is what it is. I'm going to be happy with the season, but it's still going to be, hey, I want to win that series, because we're going to have home court advantage. So for me, even with the experience.
And also, the thing. Oh, I think I forgot what I was gonna say. No, I
you gotta stop smoking, bro. Chill out.
Yeah, that's my line. Dude.
What are the odds we keep fourth in your own opinion?
Wait, what is the odds? What? Sorry.
I think it's good odds.
What are the odds we keep the fourth seed?
I say 4 and 5 or 5. We have.
I'm gonna say 60-40 right now.
60-40.
It depends on how if that injury with Trey Young is serious. Because again, Trey Young, that Hawks team is great with Nate McMillan. What you say?
The breaks off the Heat today.
It's not serious. It's just like it's a grade 2 sprain, so it's not really like anything crazy.
Yeah.
I know we talk about the Hawks being the best option. I somewhat agree with that, but they had our number yesterday.
I want that smoke. I want smoke.
I want smoke with anybody. I want smoke. I'm just happy to be in the playoffs.
I don't want no smoke with the Nets. I want smoke with them.
That's my
smoke with them.
Listen, Celtics, Heat, or the Hawks.
Yeah, give me that smoke all day.
The Hawks is the only way answer there.
The Nets, the only way in Philly, I'll pass.
Listen, the only way we get there is we're the 5th seed or the 4th seed. In my opinion.
Yeah.
We can't drop any lower than 5th.
I think the key is D Rose too. Every game, it looks like he tweaks his ankle. He scares the hell out of me. So I hope he could just get through the next 12, without doing something.
This is what I'm scared about too. That, knock on wood, God forbid, we're playing guys we're playing some older guys too at heavy minutes. RJ Barrett, Randle. We also think about fatigue at the end of the season. We don't have games where we're sitting like we don't have that Bucks game where they can sit 5 starters and say, you know what, we could let them get a loss against such and such. But we got to have a game where we can sit around. They did it once against the Bucks, but they also sat there, guys. But I'm scared of end of season injuries. I know Burks is just out with the COVID thing, but like you said, Derrick Rose was hobbling the other time. I think it's because someone came down to his foot.
Capella.
I'm just very scared that you're playing these guys late into the season, especially these older guys, and you have these knick-knack injuries, and they're not at 100% come the postseason.
Exactly.
So, injuries are the part of the game, like Ron Miller said. It's part of the game.
It's very true. But when you're older, they become a bigger factor, and especially when those older guys are prominent contributors to a playoff team. Prominent. I'm not talking about just roll like it's 10 minutes.
Well, that's what happened in 2012, right? 2013. All the old guys ran out of gas. They couldn't help Melo. They ran out of gas.
And the thing
and also Roy Hibbert, but go ahead.
And the thing I wanted to say, I remember what I was gonna say, but I was like, some people were like hoping that like the Lakers and Clippers rest their guys, but to be honest, I hope they're there because it prepares you for the playoffs. It's like the last few games we have. So if you actually have a good competition there with their stars, it's gonna give us some practice before.
We're getting practice now. These are pressure packed games for these kids. They're learning.
Sit all your players. Give us the 4 plays. Listen, I want this run to last as long as it possibly can because I'm not of the opinion that we got championship aspirations. Even though.
Oh yeah, no. Can I ask one last question? Can I ask one last question before you head out of here? Who, if we're in the playoffs, right? Give me one player, one unexpected player, who you think might pop in the playoffs. If anybody thinks that's sexual pause, but. I think IQ. I like IQ in the playoffs. Now I may have made a mistake and try to compare him to John Starks. He's not, but I think I'd love to see IQ in the playoffs, man.
IQ too for me.
No one say.
Is this someone surprising? Is that what you're saying, or?
No, just somebody who you wouldn't expect to be like. I don't say playoff hero, but.
You don't expect none of these guys. None of these guys have been in the playoffs. You don't expect nothing from none of these guys.
That's very true. That's
they have.
That's actually an excellent point because Randle could be absolute garbage in the playoffs. RJ could be trash. But come on, that's my son. Why would he?
Yeah, our starters. I don't think anyone in our starters that have been except Noel.
Don't say EP. GI. Don't say
no.
EP.
I agree.
Oh, EP gonna get busy in the playoffs.
EP is my guy.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
He could.
Ron is doing this on purpose. He's trying to. Don't do that. Don't do that here, bro. Look,
this is like a zombie movie. It's a virus that's spreading.
What are you? He wants to apologize for Steve Mills.
No, I'm definitely on the Steve Mills apology train. And
how is Steve going to kill the playoffs? Please tell me.
No. But no, you said surprise. I'm not expecting
a surprise.
I'm not expecting it, Gmo. Let's be clear. Listen, I'll take it if I get it. But you said who could be a surprise, right? I think the longer the season goes, right? And G.I. made this point earlier when I was listening to you all, right? In terms of like Elfrid Payton's play and like the extent to which like when he does have a decent game, people write it off as if it's an insignificant thing, right? In the course of winning, Elfrid Payton throughout his career has never been as bad as he's been this year. So I don't think it's the sum total of who he is as a player. So there's a possibility that we get more of what it is, or we get a better version. I put it that way.
But he's probably been more
Payton in the playoffs, and it is surprising. It's happened in the past with other players, right? When you've seen them go off in the playoffs, and it's just like, oh my goodness, where did this come from? So, am I expecting it? No, but you said like, what surprise could there be? I think it's Elfrid Payton. There's a possibility. He'll have the opportunities. He's on the floor with defense.
You're disgusting. You know that? You just bro. Why are you doing these opportunities?
My son.
And listen,
I hate Ron for this, man. Don't do it. EP trash. G.I. sits up here every time EP has a bum ass layup. G.I.'s over. Yo, that's my son. That's my son. And the last few games he's been doing that. Outside the last game, EP will have like a 15, 17-point game. Don't do that. You know, EP is just there to make sure Derrick Rose gets.
But look at where he started. Look at where he started and look at where he is now.
This might be his most impactful year. I know he's had better stats years prior, but this might be his most impactful year, even though his assist numbers are down.
It's not a playoff team.
Listen, again, everything is relative. Everything is relative. And so when you look at a guy like EP, sometimes it's like we look at all the trash he gave us earlier in the season. We look at the play where he looked off RJ when he was clearly open and try to go to the basket. Like that feeds into the narrative that is one that is true in terms of how he and Randle has played. But at the end of the day, like it's all relative. Look at where he started and look at where he's ending. And there's better performance.
Let me talk.
And I will celebrate it if we get it. Like I'm not one of these. Oh, my guy on my team. There's a guy on the team that I don't like as much.
So when we talk about Elfrid Payton here, I begrudgingly have to give him his credit when he does well. I would never say I wish Elfrid Payton would have missed that shot, so I feel good. We're not Chuck over here. So when EP does well, it's like, okay, good. That's good. Thank you. That he was successful. He did what he did. He drove against a smaller guard. He was aggressive into the basket. Good. As long as he's not shooting threes and missing easy mid-ranges and missing easy layups, it's all good. God bless EP for what he's doing for right now. But let me get to Stephen Fox. Who would you be your surprise guy that you have an inkling, you have an itch that he might be more surprising in the playoffs than he is right now in the regular season?
I'm going to go along with the crowd. IQ, I could see him, just catching fire for a spell. That's the type of player he is.
Okay, fair enough. Hinton, you say
no, my guy's still going to be Reggie Bullock. Like, he's going to be the most important guy because he still stretches the floor for us, and he usually plays the best offensive guy wing on the team. So he's going to be one of those guys. So it's going to have to be Reggie Bullock on that part.
Here's what I say about Reggie Bullock that surprised me a lot. His range is like he's hitting from the ranges that we complained about IQ, and we don't have like he's not. I'm not talking about him just chucking up shots, but look at where he's shooting some of these threes. Especially yesterday, he hit some threes that were like far away from the line. Like I don't know who he's working with. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what workout. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but his range has definitely increased in say the last 15, 20 games of the Knicks. So I don't know what he's doing, but
and he's showing up in the second half.
And he's hit some big gonadical type shots. Excuse my language. That's not even a real word, but
he had another game winner, but won the tennis in the OT, and then we won the game.
Yeah, because earlier this season he hit six threes in the first half and one in the second half.
Yeah.
But
like you said, he's showing up now in money time, crunch time.
And true Knicks fan said Pinson. Yeah, we actually do need Pinson, man. Pinson goes down, man. I don't feel confident about this season, man. Pinson has his dances, helping people up from the floor, all that good stuff. Hey, Pinson, I'm jealous of your job, bro.
Couple million would be a cheerleader.
Oh my gosh, I love to have your job, bro. But guys, look, I thank you guys for all coming on, man.
I think Obi, by the way.
I didn't get to my bad.
If he plays, I think Obi will be surprised.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I think he's going to be a defensive liability. I don't know.
I'm just saying
Obi hasn't played better defense.
I'm saying playoff defense.
Agreed.
Actually,
agreed. But
I'm going to say Obi's not going to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm only saying this if he plays. I'm saying if he plays, I think he will be.
Yeah, I'll be surprised because that lineup is going to get short real quick, and he's not going. The playoffs is different.
Absolutely.
Noel Pell said. C-Mac said Noel Pell might be a sleeper. You probably might get some defensive minutes. I don't know a lot because him and Taj would be your backup bigs, and Taj again, old man Taj. So you're not going to be playing him. And Taj gets foul prone too much a little bit when he's out there. Like he gets tired and a little grabby. Pause on plays out there where he gets caught on like picks and isolation. So Noel Pell actually might get some solid minutes in the playoffs. But guys, we've been on here for a while, man. Suit to all you guys, man. Hinton, G.I., Hadouken, Ronald Miller, Stephen Fox, the consigliere, Nick G was on here earlier, man. Edith G was on here earlier, man. Suit to all you guys, man. I'll be here tomorrow, start around at like 12:30. I might be screwed up because I'm not a morning person, even though it's 12:30. That's still way too early for me on a Saturday. So
yeah, me too.
Catch me for the game, man. I'll be here. I'll be good enough. But until tomorrow, man. Peace.
Can I do a quick shout out?
Oh, go ahead.
Just obviously to the chat. If you haven't subscribed to Legion of Knicks, the Guillermo, please do it. But also my friend and my nephew from another mother, JD, started his own channel, JD Sports Talk. So chat, if you haven't subscribed, he's dropped 2 videos, great content, fantastic guy. Please support my friend and my nephew from another mother.
Please go support JD Sports. This guy's been supporting me. This channel since I was an infant or my infancy stage. Why I say since I was an infant? Sorry,
infant.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, this
go support my guy JD. I don't know why I'm saying this. Go support my guy JD. JD Sports, man. Very knowledgeable guy. I'm jealous because he actually got OBS to work before I did. He had a real computer, but you know what, JD? I got a real computer now, so actually it's not even.
It's on. It's
actually messing up right now. But anyway, to JD, man, please go subscribe to my guy.
Love
JD.
your family.
Subscribe to all these guys' channels, the MBKs. Man's the Knicks, the Blanche Tears, the KFTV.
Shout out to
Knicks for Life, No Haters.
Henry, you got something you got to say?
Nah, man. I just want to shout out to Terrence Clark, man. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Jesus.
I legit can't stop thinking about that.
Rest in peace, Terrence Clark, man. Awful what happened.
Who's the guy from Digital Underground who passed?
Shock G.
Shock G as well, too.
Shock G. Yeah, man. Early
MTV. Man. Please go.
He was going to be drafted this year.
He's going to be drafted. Yeah, young kid from Boston, I believe.
19. From Kentucky.
Yeah, kid, man. Baby.
So, thank you for reminding me.
I watched him for a few years now. That is,
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Terrence Clark. Rest in peace, Shock G, man. freaking awful, man. Please say, give your loved ones, go give them a hello if you haven't in a while, man. God bless you and your families, man. Please be safe. Don't do anything crazy out there, man. Let's try to hold it together, man. Until tomorrow, man. Peace, Luke. God bless, man.
Love you, champ.
So.